Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk, episode 80. Today, I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts, George and Seth. Cam is working the weekend, which is awful on a March Madness weekend of college basketball, which I know his alma mater, Purdue, is playing in a couple hours. So if he has to watch that from his phone while working, I feel for the man.
He's used to watching shit from his phone. It's fine.
That is fair, but he cares about Purdue basketball more than, I was going to say movies, but I think more than everything that exists in his life. So there's going to be a rough day for him. But we have a packed episode today. I think it'll be a fun episode. We're going to review Roadhouse. We're going to also have a Jake Gyllenhaal draft in the spirit of a new Jake Gyllenhaal movie and go through his filmography and draft the best between us three. We're also going to talk about Late Night with the Devil using AI in their film and just have a broader discussion on AI in general. Plenty of other movie news. A lot of it we're going to want to dive into as well. And this week was trailers galore. We got Alien Romulus, House of the Dragon, The Penguin, Furiosa, just to name literally just a few. There's so many trailers that came out this week that we're going to want to dive into. So let's go ahead and get into Real Talk episode 80. Shout out to our executive producers, Stefan Johnson and Sean Morales. We have two now, not just Stefan Johnson, Sean Morales joining the bunch. So shout out to you two. With that, let's go ahead and get into it. How have we been doing this week? Seth, we'll start with you.
Good. Pretty just dead week. Obviously, like I went to London last few weeks. Going to London tomorrow for the Monkey Man UK premiere, which I'm really, really excited for.
I'm so jealous of that.
Yeah, because
can I come? Do you get a +1?
Yeah, Josiah's got it. Sorry.
Nah, I'll fight him.
Yeah, it's cool. I'll take it off him. So obviously Dev Patel's going to be there. Jordan Peele's going to be there. I didn't know Peele would be there actually until like the other day, which is cool, you know? Like I didn't know producer, whatever. But yeah, that'll be really, really good. I'm coming back like I just can't bother to stay in London anymore, so I'm getting the last train home at like 11, which will be fun, and get back at like 1, which is great. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I am just looking forward to the film, if anything. I don't know about you, George, but I don't really like the whole red carpet premiere stuff. You know what I mean? I like the screenings more, the casual.
Yeah, I like the screenings and a Q&A. That's what I like. Every time I go to
yeah.
Like most of these events I go to, they're like, do you want to walk the carpet? And I just say no. I'm like, I just want to find my seat and see. I don't care to have my picture taken ever.
I hate my picture taken. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so really excited for that. Really, really busy work week otherwise. That's kind of it this week. Nothing extravagant. Just mainly getting back to everything and just a whole bunch of work, really.
George, how about yourself?
Good week. Busy work week. We're kind of gearing up for our 4-day week this week, which I'm assuming you all, or Tyler at least, has Friday off, right?
Friday.
Good Friday.
Nah, my work only has like the holidays off, like the big holidays, right. But I'll be off anyways on PTO, but that's like just completely unrelated.
Tomorrow's a holiday here, apart from I don't get it obviously, but Anna's like most people are off here tomorrow. And maybe Friday as well. Actually, is it Easter Friday? Yeah, no,
it's Good Friday for us, and then Easter on next Sunday. Today's Palm Sunday.
Tomorrow is our holiday for UK.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, so busy work. Anytime we're like heading into a 4 or 3-day work week, it's always just busy the week before. Got invited to, I think I mentioned it last week, to like that Lego Disney event for the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. So that was really cool. They did that like massive like show on the side of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. I've seen like Empire State Building light shows, but I've never seen like actual like projections of like movies and scenes and shit. So that was cool. The whole event was cool.
Did you get any Lego?
Dude, they gave me okay. For starters, they gave me 3 posters. One of which is like one of those steel posters that people like spray paint on, like one of those really cool retro posters.
Yeah.
I should have hung it up. I didn't hang it up. It's right there. If I can grab it, I would. 2 other posters. They gave me a Darth Maul Funko Pop. They gave me a T-shirt. They gave me like this beard trimmer that's like designed like a stormtrooper, so it looks like
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like a stormtrooper thing. They gave me like this Darth Vader action figure, and then they gave me a $500 gift card to the Lego shop.
What?
Insane.
That's a crazy
That's
story.
crazy.
The bag, the goodie bag they gave me the night of didn't include the gift card. The next morning, I wake up to an email like, "Thank you for attending. Below, you'll find your complimentary $500 Lego gift card." And it's like, please remember. They were like, reminder: if you post anything, use like the hashtag Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
And
That
I was like,
isn't it crazy that still won't buy you the Millennium Falcon?
dude,
Like, $500.
insane how expensive. I immediately went to the Bat Cave because I was like, I would love the Bat Cave. $499.
How much is have you got the
Millennium
I want
Falcon
the
is like
Daily Bugle
$850.
one. I want the Daily Bugle one. I think that's
I have
like
no idea.
$350 here. So
Yeah,
like
some of these are
$450.
so expensive. It's unbelievable.
crazy.
This massive
Crazy.
R2D2 one is like $550, and I'm like, damn.
What's the ship in Star Wars? The massive one. What's it called?
The Death Star.
Death Star. That's like
Yeah.
how much is that?
Huge, like 800.
That's crazy.
It's insane how much some of these Legos are. I'm packing my cart with like keychains and like small little Legos and
I
like,
do the same actually.
and like stuffed animals. I'm trying to get my money's worth. But no, other than that, Sophie's birthday Friday, so we went out Friday night. Kevin, K Meeks, and Owen came.
Wow, really?
Dude, Owen, biggest yapper on Twitter, quietest kid in real life. The quietest dude is the funniest thing. But no, they're both really cool. K Meeks is exactly how you expect. He's really cool. He's really fun. They're both fun. It was fun to be around them. We played some pool. We played some bowling. Had a good time. So I'm happy they were able to make it. Owen was in the city already for, I think he was hanging out with some other people he met on film Twitter or TikTok. And then Kevin, I convinced to come because I told him Owen was coming.
Well, he's only in Jersey anyway.
He's in Jersey, so it's not that bad of a commute to get to Penn Station. So that was fun to see them. And we were obviously talking about film festival stuff, New York Film Festival stuff, and how we're going to try to convince everyone to get there. I told them I would buy 12 air mattresses if necessary.
Can I come?
Yeah, I said, yeah.
When is it? When is it?
Middle of October, probably. And tickets probably go on sale in like a month or two.
Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy if I came.
That'd be insane if you came. I'll freak out. But yeah, other than that, that was really the week. I went to my boys yesterday in Jersey City. Watched some March Madness. We went to a beer garden, just hung out, ate, played some board games, played some trivia. So it was fun. Yeah, fun stuff this week. And next week should be pretty slow.
Yeah, K Meeks was telling me that he caught the last train back to Jersey by like 4 minutes, and that if you weren't the one to mention, like, you probably should head out right now if you want to get home. He's like, I totally would have been just fucked because Uber's like triple digit cost to get home. Yeah, because we were in Brooklyn. So the bar we went to for Sophie's, there's I think there's two locations. There's one on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and there's one in Brooklyn. So originally I thought we were going to the Manhattan one, but I didn't find out we were going to the Brooklyn one until like I was already with Kevin and Owen. And I don't really know the Jersey Transit schedule. I only really know the Long Island Railroad schedule, and I know after 12 o'clock. Midnight, the Long Island Railroad only runs like every hour or every hour and a half. So like if you miss one train, you're just sitting around jerking off for an hour doing nothing. So it got to like, I think it was like 11:30, 11:45, and I'm like, yo, you should probably go now, because like if you happen to miss like a 12 or a 1 o'clock train, you're going to be stuck at Penn Station till 2, 3 o'clock maybe. And then I got a text from him like, half hour, 45 minutes later, I got my train by 3 minutes. And I was like, that's a good thing you left when you did, because Owen was staying in the city with his boys, so it was no problem for him. And even if Kevin missed that train, he probably could have just crashed at Owen's. I just think he preferred not to be in a hotel room, in a small hotel room with 5 other dudes and sleep on the floor. Yeah. My week wasn't that eventful. I can't even remember. Like, I feel like every morning when we do Real Talk, my mind just blanks to everything I did the past week, but been a pretty busy week. Similar to George talking about getting prepped for a short work week. You kind of have to jam a lot in ahead of time, similar to me, because I'm traveling this week. So always stressful before I travel, because I try and prep TikToks, prep all kinds of stuff before I leave, because I'm going on Tuesday to Boston for work for a couple days, and then immediately turn around from Boston and going directly to Denver for my buddy Matt's bachelor party. So going. So basically a work trip straight into PTO. So from Tuesday to Sunday, like I'm just going to be on the road. So hopefully if all goes well today and tomorrow, I'll have all my TikToks prepped and ready so I can post them while I'm gone. Cause obviously I won't be able to record them on the road. So going to be a busy weekend, but overall been good. Been watching a ton of March Madness, which has been fun. Very, very frustrating to watch, literal teenagers, like 18, 19-year-olds try and like win games. Like, cause you can just swear sometimes when you watch them, they have 2 brain cells. Like I feel like so many times there's a whole ass minute left in a game, but you just already know who won. Cause you're like, you guys are just going to make some stupid decision here. Like it's just so frustrating, man. But yeah, Wisconsin sucks. They lost round 1, James Madison, terrible. Cam's team's still going, but this is uploaded on Monday, so they play today on Sunday. So we'll see if they're still around. Hopefully they are. Shout out Cam. I'm pulling for you. But yeah, other than that, just a lot of basketball, a lot of prepping for travel this week. Doing a lot of yard work. We're redoing our backyard right now, trying to get our house prepped to sell, which is a fun time because the housing market isn't great right now. So trying to sell our house without losing any money, which would be awesome. But we bought kind of at a high point in the market and it's gone down a bit since. But yeah, with that, let's go through what we've been watching this week. We'll start off with Seth. What have you been checking off your watch list? And
a lot. Crazy week. What's important? When did I last speak to you? Yeah, okay. So I watched North by Northwest for the first time. I've been watching so much Hitchcock recently. It's kind of crazy. I watched North by Northwest, To Catch a Thief, Sabotage. I've been going through a lot of his filmography. Really, really great. Most of it anyway. I got a screener for the Beast, which is I think it premiered at I don't know which festival back in like September, but it's still not had its general release, and I think it might not even get it till.
It says on Letterboxd now.
Does it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure that's like a.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, so Venice. It premiered at Venice the 3rd, and then Toronto. And then its general theatrical release in the US, at least, is the 5th of April. And in the UK, it's 30th of May, so it's ages away for us. Got a chance to watch that. It's fucking crazy. George will hate it. Tyler will probably like it, and Cam will hate it even more. So, yeah, very strange. George McKay and Leah Seydoux are both incredible, though. Like so good. George McKay got that French speaking down. Like he is for speaking French like half the film. That guy's a handsome guy. So crazy. I really liked it. It's not gonna be for everyone, but it's really, really interesting film. I don't actually know if it counts for this year, but I'm just counting for this year because this year I am struggling for like good releases. It's crazy. I watched that brings me on Spaceman, which I watched this morning.
Yeah, why? I saw that. Why did you?
Because I'm like, let me just watch a couple. I did like Ricky Stenicki, Spaceman, Spaceman. So Adam Sandler, I like Adam Sandler. He was fucking atrocious in it. Like I'm not even like he was so bad in the film.
Yeah,
really.
It was a weird role to pick. Like he cannot pull off that like.
It was bizarre.
Melancholy, depressed drama.
It was so weird.
Did you have the same feeling that every time Paul Dano, after like 2 times, started saying "skinny human," it just made you want to rip your ears off?
It was really annoying me. Like I kept saying to Anna, I was like, "There's another one, great."
My teeth are like grating because he's no exaggerating. He says it probably 100 times.
Guy, crazy. I watched Evil Dead, which I suppose George about earlier. Sorry. Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead 2013. Yeah. Rewatched that. Jumped up from 3 to 4. Really, really enjoyed it this time. Shit's so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's been at least 2 years, I think, since I last watched it. And I was like, because, obviously we'll speak about the, Alien Romulus trailer. And I was like, let me just go and rewatch that again. Really, really enjoyed it. Probably still prefer. You know what? I might prefer
better than the Raimi trilogy.
Let's calm down. I might prefer over Evil Dead 1. And you know what? I think the only one that I actually maybe like more than it is Evil Dead 2. I think that's always my favorite. I do really like Evil Dead 2. I watched.
I'm close to calling Evil Dead Rise my favorite Evil Dead movie.
I think that they're all good though. Like it's I think they're all. Evil Dead Rise is my lowest, but it's still a 3.5. I still really like it. Let me see what else I got. So I watched Ricky Stenicki, which was fucking shit, and I hated it. John Cena is pretty funny though. Actually, I have a really soft spot for John Cena and things. Like even in like Fast X, he's just kind of a funny guy. I like him. Roadhouse, which obviously we'll speak about. Roadhouse. I
Mhm.
watched the documentary on Jodorowsky's Dune, which was really, really interesting. Definitely recommend it. I watched. I did a really good double feature at the cinema, which was great. Perfect Days. Finally watched that.
Yeah.
So good. Oh man, it was like the soundtrack. Just it's such a beautiful film. I feel like I needed, that point in time. So simple. And I forgive me, I can't remember the lead actor's name. Obviously the guy in Pulse and Cure, Koji Yakusho. Amazing, so good. The final scene had me welling up like mad, and the soundtrack as well, so good.
Dude, every time another song played in that movie, I would like shiver. It would damn near get me to cry.
It's making me want to watch more Wim Wenders because I've only seen that and Paris, Texas. Yeah, there's a few that I need to watch, like Alice in the City, I think it's called. Then straight after that, I went and watched After Hours. Loved it. I just that's really shot up for me. It's like my third Scorsese now. I had just such a good time. Little solo date, I don't do double features often, but I do like them when I do them. When it's my last double feature was The Whale and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is a fucking weird.
And that was like a year and a half ago almost.
It's like for us, it was like February.
Oh, true.
Yes. And then the final thing, I watched The Last Samurai, which obviously we'll speak about. The Last Midarai, should I say? Yeah, I watched it. Kurosawa, that was pretty good. That's about it.
George, how about you? What have you been watching this week?
Nothing, literally nothing. Every night after work, I've either gone out with friends or I've had an event or Sophie's birthday. I've had something every night. So just
being a person in the real world.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking at like what I've been watching. Like I logged.
Did you see The Matrix?
Yeah, so The Matrix.
I'm jealous.
In theaters. First
time.
You
see it in Dolby?
Yeah, it was in Dolby. Really cool. Really fun experience. Such a good movie. One of the best. While I was at work on Friday, office was kind of empty. I just threw on The Big Short and just had that going in my ear. I love The Big Short. I really like Adam McKay. I know a lot of people are like very hit or miss on his like satirical comedy and like the more like political he's gotten in the latter half of his career. But I'm a big fan of him. I really like Big Short. I really enjoyed Don't Look Up. I think Vice is fantastic. So I really like what he's been doing in the latter half of his career. Roadhouse, which we'll talk about. I rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Honestly, a lot of MCU movies as I get older, I find don't hold up very well on rewatch. Not the case for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. This movie does hold up very well. Everything, the comedy still hits, the emotional beats still hit. I think it's a really pure and really intimate like story that just doesn't have anything to do with like the greater MCU, which I think I like.
It's also been less than a year, so pretty easy to hold up for less than a year.
True. Yeah, that's true too. But still,
it's great. Great movie.
Yeah, it is great. But like I'll even rewatch like some of my favorite MCU films, and I'll still find that they don't hold up too well on rewatch. Also rewatched Transformers, which is just a monthly thing at this point. Whenever March 17th was, I was listening to while I was at work. I had like the Killers, their concert film from Royal Albert Hall.
That's where I watched Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, where you watched Lord of the Rings. Yeah. And then I realized I could log that on Letterboxd. So
do you know when you logged it? I desperately searched. I was like, Lord of the Rings.
I started searching every single concert I went to, but not a lot of them. Not even any of them really. I had logged the Billy Joel one too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I watched the Quiet on Set, the Nickelodeon Dan Schneider documentary, which is just disturbing and devastating and horrifying and every synonym of those three words you could think of. And it's great. And I know everyone's had like this conversation. Obviously, I've had this conversation like 10 times already with my friends and Victoria. It's crazy that all of this stuff like went over our heads. Like we didn't understand any of these jokes.
I don't know what it is. Is it Nickelodeon?
It's
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Not out here. I tried to find it the other day, but it's not here yet.
Oh yeah, it's basically about Nickelodeon and basically just going through kind of this empire that Dan Schneider built, who like created all of these shows like Carly and Drake and Josh. But it's kind of exposing him as, which everyone kind of knew for a long time. This is just going very deep into it, exposing him as like pretty much a predator. He mistreated the kids and even the adults on sets. He was writing very disturbing and inappropriate jokes that children wouldn't understand, but to an older guy, they were probably funny. And they show most of these, and like they show a lot of these like scenes in this documentary. And again, as I'm watching it, I'm like, obviously like an 8-year-old George would have never thought twice about these jokes. Like young George didn't know what cum and sex was. These jokes went straight over his head. But now I'm watching, I'm like, this is just gross. Like, and obviously we always like, we loved iCarly, we love Drake and Josh. And now you kind of look at them from like a different angle and a different perspective. And it's like, damn, there goes my childhood. But yeah, really disturbing documentary. I know a lot of people watched it. I saw a lot of people log it over this week. So, drop some comments. Let us know what you thought. But that's it. That's all I watched. No new watches except Roadhouse. And that's it. Week year. Week. Week. WEAK.
Nice. I was picking up what you're putting down.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for me, it's been a tale of 2 weeks, really, because the first half of this week I watched a shit ton. I was just feeling a little bummed, a little down on life, and just decided, not gonna be that productive and just watch like 2 or 3 films every single night. But then haven't watched a film in 3 days because March Madness happened. So pretty much anytime I have a screen on, it's gonna be, college basketball. But yeah, I've been watching a ton, went through a huge Tarantino rewatch kick. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, bumped that up from a 4.5 to a 5. It's up there. It's like neck and neck with the other film I'm rewatching, Glorious Bastards, for my favorite Tarantino. But Tarantino, I switch up so often in his rankings. I love all his movies. Whereas like Django Unchained, I also rewatch, moved it down to a 4. There was a time like 6 months ago I said it was my favorite Tarantino film. That was probably like 6th or 7th, which is like crazy because Tarantino's filmography for me is just so neck and neck. Same with The Hateful Eight. I've been like the biggest defender of that film forever. Still really like it. I give it a 3.5, but again, it's going to be near the bottom of my Tarantino ranking because stuff like Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, all the classics like that I really love. Thin Red Line, which we talked about on the Patreon exclusive review. Sound of Metal, rewatched that. Great film. We reviewed it on Real Quick, probably like almost a year ago at this point, maybe even longer. Yeah, that was one of our first ones. Also watched Her, which is another Real Quick episode that we reviewed. That's available in public, which is not as long ago as Sound of Metal, a little more recent. Just a big rewatch week for me, looking for comfort films. Rewatched Titanic. Still just think it's just such a spectacle and epic of the grandest scale. Like James Cameron with an unlimited budget can just do incredible things. Cam's not here, but I watched Moana for the very first time.
Madonna.
Yeah, I thought it was mid. I think it's 3-star, but the soundtrack's a 500 out of 5-star. Like the soundtrack's incredible. It's similar to me how I feel about Frozen, because the Frozen soundtrack I think is incredible, but the movie I'm like, and Moana's kind of the same thing. I was just like, but the soundtrack great. Like great songs. Also rewatched Tick Tick Boom. Riley absolutely hated it, but I still like it. I don't love it, but I like it a lot. The 3.5. Andrew Garfield is so good at though. His range is just crazy. He can really do anything. And then Beau is Afraid. Anytime you hear new news about Eddington from Ari Aster, I'm like, man, I'm so excited for this movie. So maybe want to throw back on Beau is Afraid which is weird to say for an Ari Aster film, but to me, Beau is Afraid is the easiest watch of the 3, which is just like knowing Beau is Afraid is a crazy thing to say. But I mean, Hereditary, I definitely have to be in the right mood to watch. And Midsummer, it's like I don't really want to get that freaky right now.
To be fair, there is a lot. Like, I'd say Beau is Afraid is probably like, if I had to rewatch one, it would be Hereditary. Obviously, that's my favorite by far. But Beau is Afraid would be next. I think there's so much to Beau is Afraid that I think it offers so much on every watch, doesn't it? Which I need to watch it again, actually, definitely.
Yeah, I like the whole movie. It's my 3rd time I've watched it now, but that first act especially, I love so much.
Yeah,
like anxiety filled, like the Skid Row is. I love it.
Yeah,
he's freaking out that he needs to get water with his pills. And then rewatched Marriage Story as well. Bumped that up to 4.5. I truly think it's Noah Baumbach's best. I think it's Adam Driver's best and Scarlett Johansson's best. I think it's just all their best performances and best directing work all bundled into one movie. I think Marriage Story is just phenomenal work. Great movie. But yeah, basically everything this week's been rewatches. Did not get the chance to finish Roadhouse. I'm halfway through it, unfortunately. So
wow, you missed out on some great stuff, mate.
I mean, at least
did. Like, unironically, you missed out on the best part of the film. I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm excited to finish it. To me, like have you guys either of you seen the original Roadhouse? This is going to transition us nicely into the.
I got so much shit in my review,
dude. I got so much comments about
that. You know those reviews that you do where it's like you enter a different world of TikTok, you just get like idiots. Like you get it's mainly like streaming releases. I got all the like Conor McGregor fanboys on mine because I basically said in my review that he was just so stupid that he was funny, and I got like crazy hate. Like you haven't watched it. I haven't even watched the original.
Yeah, dude. Like people always ask in like film Twitter and like the film sphere, like why do they keep coming out with like shitty streaming movies? And I'm not saying this to Roadhouse specifically. I'm just saying like in general, when people talk about streaming movies, and it's because anytime you talk about any of them, even the one in your mind, you're like, no one could possibly have liked this. It's the worst ever. And you talk about it on TikTok, and they're like, what do you literally mean? That's like the best movie me and my family have ever seen. We're like,
it's the most views I've had on a single review in ages. Who gives a fuck about Roadhouse? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I have seen the original one, and to me, like. It's one of those that a lot of people, it's not revisionist history, but people just hold with such nostalgia because they're like, oh, like it doesn't have anywhere near like the style of greatness. But like the original Roadhouse just isn't, it's campy, but it's not like a great movie. And some people are treating it like this new reboot is like the worst thing ever, like ruining some classic masterpiece. And Roadhouse is fun camp, but halfway through this next one, I'm like, it's very similar stylistically, like a lot of corniness, campiness, like silliness, where you're just like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's not anyone who like thinks this one is like terrible. It's like the first one is very corny and campy as well, but I have to finish it still. So we're going to transition into your guys' discussion on Roadhouse, which I will pull up the synopsis here, but of course not a theatrical release, unfortunately. And from what I've heard from even people who don't like the film, it's like would have been fun to watch in a theater with people.
Yeah.
But Roadhouse, directed by Doug Liman, ex-UFC fighter Dalton takes a job as a bouncer at a Florida Keys roadhouse, only to discover that this paradise is not all that it seems. Starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor, Billy Magnuson, Lucas Gage, Daniela Melchior. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to leave it to you two to carry this. We'll start it off with George. Roadhouse.
I give it 3 stars, which I don't think this is a 3-star movie. I think it's less than a 3-star movie, but I think this movie sets out to do and be exactly what it wants to do and be. It is just a stupid remake, just guys being dudes, punching each other in the face and just having a good time. I don't think anyone on this production took this movie seriously, and I think that's the best thing they could have approached it. No one took this movie seriously. Conor McGregor, they didn't even hand him a script. They just said, yo, walk around and look. Just be yourself and look massive. His first scene, he's butt ass naked. He probably wasn't even scripted to be naked. He just wanted to be naked.
No, probably not.
But the movie was fun. It was a blast. It really was. You find yourself not caring about literally anything except the fight scenes. And at least the fight scenes, they kind of really committed to the bit. They were a lot of fun. They were very over the top. There were a lot of instances where someone realistically probably wouldn't get up, and they do. You don't care for this, underground, whatever the villain is a part of. I don't even remember. That's how
I don't think anyone knows. There's not really much to it, is there, at all?
Yeah, it's just very like classic bad dude in a suit wants to shut down bar for property rights. And then Jake Gyllenhaal's there to protect the bar. And that's it. That's the movie. And it's a lot of fun. It's not a good movie. The dialogue is corny. The acting is over the top and ridiculous, but in like the best way possible. The fight choreography is fantastic. I read that Conor McGregor did his own stunts, which I thought was pretty cool, which kind of unsurprising, I guess. I can't imagine it's like that difficult to train a professional UFC fighter to throw fake punches and like take fake hits. So it's still cool though that he did his own stunts. The end scene, which we can get into, I doubt we'll go heavily into spoilers. There's not much to spoil in this movie, but the end scene was kind of awesome, especially when it's just like right after was the car or the boat, something crashes into the building, and you're just left with a Connor Jake Gyllenhaal standoff. And it just goes on for a long time, which is awesome. It wasn't like a quick fight that just kind of ends fast. It was like a really long fight that really kind of like just committed to everything, which I really adored. Movie was funny. It had its moments. Everyone's kind of seen the first scene of Connor like walking into the bar, like, "Hey, Dalton," and he's like, "Don't let anyone get too close." That's my Conor McGregor accent. Thank you.
Well, I don't even know what his accent was. It was weird. It wasn't his.
What did he say? That was his voice.
It wasn't. It was like his voice, but it also wasn't. He was doing.
It was very like cartoonish.
It wasn't like
when he walks up to the pool and he's like, "Where the fuck is everyone?"
It was so weird, man. It was so bizarre.
He was a cartoon in this movie, but like it was a perfect movie for him to just like fuck around in. Like he was perfect for that role, I think. But that's it. That's my thoughts on the movie. There's really not much to dissect or like really like. I don't even want to like no, it's not a good movie, but it's not a movie I'm going to sit here and absolutely rip on because the movie never intended to be good. It's here for strictly entertainment purposes. And I was entertained. That's about it. I love this era of Jake Gyllenhaal in his career. He's kind of just going for a bag. I respect it. He's done so many incredible performances, which we'll get into later when we do our Jake Gyllenhaal draft. And I feel like he's at the point of his career where he's like, I'm constantly being overlooked by award shows and the Academy. And he's like, fuck it. If you're not going to respect my talent, I'm going to waste it on these Amazon Prime originals and just secure a bag. And I'm all for it. Secure the fucking bag. Do your thing, have some fun, and make a lot of money. Roadhouse, 3 out of 5. I said in my TikTok review I had never seen the original. 90% of my comments: how do you call yourself a film critic and not see the original Roadhouse? Bro does movie reviews but has never seen Patrick Swayze in the original Roadhouse. I'm like, I
don't even know what Roadhouse was.
No, I knew the only reason I knew what Roadhouse was actually was from the Family Guy Getaway.
Which
every week Roadhouse.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts on Roadhouse.
Yeah, same. Nonsensical, ridiculous, dizzying. The dialogue was
so funny.
Woefully bad, but really funny.
So
Conor
funny.
McGregor was such a bumbling idiot that he did just play himself, but it was kind of just a delightfully idiotic performance because it was just so fun. Like every time McGregor was on screen, I would laugh out loud, and it's
just a blast, just an absolute blast.
The scene where he's in the bar and he comes in and he like grabs that girl to dance. And then he randomly goes, "I hate this song." And that's like hitting. It's like, bro, what are you doing? It was just really, really bizarre. Jake Gyllenhaal is just kind of owning it and having a pretty good time. Fair play to him. It is obviously we'll go into it later, but it is a strange career trajectory. I wonder if he just got sick of tiring himself out with the roles because I can imagine they were quite mentally strenuous as well. With like the Nightcrawlers and Prisoners and whatever. The fight sequences were cool. Some of the CGI was a bit wonky, and some of the fight sequences as well. I did notice that was a bit weird.
Did you ever watch? I doubt you've seen it. The Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Zac Efron Baywatch movie.
Yeah, I did when it first came out. Like
the scenes where they're like on a boat heading towards the fire, and it looks like really, really bad. The CGI.
I see that.
That's what Roadhouse reminded me of. It just like It looked bad. It like they didn't care. They were like, "Fuck
yeah."
We don't
there
care.
was some cool digital stuff, but it didn't. Yeah, it was just silly. But it was quite funny. There was one guy I don't actually know his name, but just check who had made me laugh quite a few times. Just his lines are so dumb. Arturo Castro, who was also in The Menu.
Yeah.
I think he was quite funny. He just said some stupid shit, and it's just like, "Oh, I tell you what, though, I will say this." And I do feel bad for saying it, but everything I see her in, I'm like, she is so bad.
Don't say it. She's good.
No, she's so
She's fine. Did you even in the Suicide Squad? You didn't like her?
I actually don't. Who was she in the Suicide Squad?
She was the rat girl.
Oh yeah, she was alright. Maybe it's the films because Fast X as well. Like,
yeah, okay, yeah, but Charlize Theron sucks in Fast X. That doesn't mean she sucks in general.
Yeah, I suppose, but I don't know.
I like her. I think she's just a very she's a very adorable presence, and I think like that worked well. I guess opposite of this like massive Dalton character.
I suppose. I wish there was more UFC shit. There was like nothing.
Dude, that's what. Okay, they don't. I mean, you're left to assume in the movie. Does Jake Gyllenhaal kill that guy?
I would assume that he went too far, and
but does he kill him, or does he just like?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
He either killed him or
just like seriously fucked
gave
him
him brain damage and then was cut from the UFC and then blacklisted from all the promotions. That's the only. But he didn't really explain anything, really.
It was very
so
like
shallow. It was so shallow.
It was such a cheap like cop out. Like, okay, he has a dark background. Let's give you guys 3 UFC cutscenes, and that'll justify his character.
They must have spent so much money on those UFC. Obviously, they did it.
They did
during
UFC fights,
during an actual event. Like the crowd, most of the crowd would have been real. Dana White was in it. Like, when they do the weigh-ins and the face-off.
I remember like a year ago we were talking about that footage on this podcast when it came out.
It must have cost them like. It was
really. I feel like it probably cost them nothing. I feel like Dana White's like, sure, come in, film 10 minutes, go for it. Who gives a fuck?
Maybe, but then. Yeah, I suppose it does say UFC, but then
especially if Connor is in the movie, Dana's probably like, "Oh, absolutely."
Because they still have to. Roadhouse would have paid because they've been. There's clearly some partnership that's been happening because UFC have been promoting Roadhouse a lot anyway. You know what I mean? There's clearly because obviously it's kind of involved. So it makes sense, which is why I think that it's getting more traction than a film like this would usually get because of McGregor and the stardom.
McGregor. That's why I'm surprised it didn't go straight to theatrical release. Like Conor McGregor would have sold millions upon millions of dollars worth of tickets.
The MMA community is speaking about this film a lot. Like a lot.
The entire country of Ireland would have sat and watched this movie.
I don't know, man. Ireland don't really like McGregor anymore, and I don't really blame them. A lot of Irish people just don't like him.
Yeah, but he's still he's one of the biggest sells in any sport right now, and he hasn't even fought in 2 years.
20,
and he's still one of like the biggest sells.
No,
I think it was
one. Jesus Christ!
I would love to understand their thought process on not giving this a theatrical release. I also think a theatrical release would have benefited critically. I think this could have easily been a half a star higher if I were in a theater with a bunch of people, because that's exactly what Sydney and Chris
South by
Southwest. They were like the best part of this,
and everyone's having a laugh.
Yeah, it was just a theater experience and having a laugh with everyone around us.
Did you see the clips that I think Sydney posted a couple, and I saw them on Twitter of Conor McGregor at the Q&A? Just
hijacking the whole.
That guy is mental.
He's having a blast. He's like, fuck yes, I'm in the spotlight again. This is awesome.
Just absurd fella, but it's fine. Yeah, I give it. Thank you so much. Score 3-star from me. It's whatever. I'll never watch it again. I'll never think about it again. But I had a pretty good time whilst I watched it anyway, which is pretty positive in itself, really.
Listen, we're in a year. Where are we? I have logged
25 I've 8, and that is third for me so far.
25 movies, and I got this at 6 right now, and it's a 3-star. So I guess bad year, good ranking. But yeah, I think everyone's kind of on board with
this. Could actually end up in my top 20 of the year by the end of the year. By the time it's going, which is really embarrassing.
Stop.
I'm telling you, man. Okay, maybe not, but still, maybe top 30. I don't know.
Oh God. All right, I think that Tyler's back. Probably wraps up.
Yeah, this year is not looking great so far. And I remember when I tweeted in December saying my hot take is I think 2024 is gonna be worse than both 2023 and 2022, and everyone always replies, they're like, but what about this coming out and this coming out? It's
there is a lot coming out when you actually look into it, though.
Yeah, but years need 15 good or great films to be a great year. 2022 and 2023 had a solid top 10, 15 that you're these are great films. And so anyone who's there's these 5 films coming out, it's even if those are all phenomenal, my top 10, if it's gonna have Beekeeper or Roadhouse in it, by the time we get to August, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
we got speaking of stuff coming out this year, we got so many trailers this week. So many trailers of stuff to come, both in the TV sphere and the movie sphere this year. We have a lot to go through. We'll just start with Furiosa, the new trailer that pretty divisive, honestly, with like a lot of people think it looks amazing. A lot of people think it looks like crap. I think I'm assuming we're all in the camp that thinks it looks amazing. I thought the trailer was awesome. I'm so excited for it. Visually
brains, Tyler.
Yeah. I mean, because when Dune and Furiosa both had like their first trailers, and I posted saying like, oh, it's going to be a battle between these two for like, visuals and cinematography, like what's going to be the best looking sci-fi epic of the year, and everyone kind of is on the camp of Dune's just going to wash it. Which Dune is like very high standard, beautiful film, but I mean Furiosa, man, that movie's going to rip, and I don't get why so many people are doubting it.
Well, I think it's if you go back and watch the Mad Max Fury Road trailer, which I did because I hadn't seen it at the time when it came out, very, very similar in terms of the CGI and the visual effects. That's just George Miller's kind of extravagant, over-the-top, colorful style. People are talking about it, it looks really dodgy, whatever. But if you go back and look at Fury Road, a lot of the shots look very similar. And then Fury Road, I mean, not everyone loved, but most people really liked. George Miller's proven many, many times that he can make these huge epics and make them really good. And I think it looks great. I'm really excited for it. Definitely. Really excited for it.
I need them to release Fury Road. I know it's been like floating around Twitter, like,
but they won't, because they won't. But it's not a sequel though, so they just won't. They won't. I mean, if they do, I'd love it, but I don't think they will. I can't see it.
I never saw that movie in theaters. It was like the biggest crutch of my film going career.
Yeah, now it's gonna be crazy. Actually, I do want to, but I can't imagine it.
Yeah, but we are of course on the day of recording this 2 months away from Furiosa premiering, coming out May 24th. It's gonna be premiering at Cannes Film Festival, not in competition, but it's gonna be premiering there. We're all excited for it. We all love Mad Max, and we can't wait.
What does it mean? Does that mean it can't get a Palme d'Or?
It can't get any awards. It's just there to premiere. There's usually a couple films that do that each and every year. I don't really know the festival politics behind why or whatever, but it's not competing for anything.
It doesn't really matter, does it? Who cares?
No, I don't really understand how the whole thing works with like it's premiering at the festival, but not in the I don't know, whatever. But Furiosa looks great. And then we also got Alien Romulus, which is the first trailer. Seth was just talking about Fede Alvarez for Evil Dead. He's directing this one, coming out August 16th. What do we think about the Alien Romulus trailer?
Did you guys? I'm not going to say it because it's a spoiler. Did you guys see the spoiler on Twitter about what's happening in the film?
No,
I saw something about AI. Is that what you're talking about?
It's wow.
Seth's shadow right now kind of looks like the alien figure, honestly.
It does. It's kind of weird.
It's giving me like alien vibes right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it because I think it's, I got it. Part of the story, I don't want to say this, it's kind of what is a massive spoiler, but there's something to do with likeness that's in the film, which is, I don't love, I'll be honest, with the particular ex-character, but, whatever. Film-wise, the trailer-wise, they'll look great. Really excited for it. Obviously, Fede Alvarez came out and said that, I think all of the aliens practical effects, if not maybe a couple aren't or whatever, which is great because, we always prefer that, especially, within this age. I think it looks fantastic. I went back and, like I said at the start, I went back and watched Evil Dead. I think he's kind of the man for the job. And I didn't know, I think we all said the same. I think this film is very much, and it's still cool, don't get me wrong, but I think this film is very much could go either way. It could be shit, it could be really, really great, and it's going to struggle to be in the middle. But I'm very much on a much more positive side now seeing the trailer and the fucking cool poster, because I love that poster. The alien posters are always amazing, by the way. They're so good, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm definitely in. I think it looks really, really good. Really good.
Looks fantastic. I still need to watch Priscilla because I just need to know what Kaylee Spaney's all about.
She's taking over.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's taking over. I know, Tyler, I think she was your best performance of last year, which is obviously very high praise. But yeah, everything Seth said. I think Don't Breathe is a fantastic movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I thought it was cool. I didn't love it. I didn't get like a 3.5. I enjoyed it.
It's very unique. And I think it just kind of showcases his depth in horror, especially when you look at it side by side to Evil Dead. They're two very stylistically different movies. So he has a horror bag, which is exciting to see. And then The trailer just kind of rips. It is kind of exactly what you would expect from an Alien trailer, where it's just very claustrophobic. It's very suspense driven. You see one shot of like I'm going to call it a bathtub, but I know it's not a bathtub, and it's splattered with blood, like the place where humans sleep, and it's just splattered with blood, and it's like that one shot is like enough to just lock me into an Alien movie. I know a lot of people are Prometheus, Alien Covenant haters.
Yeah, silly people.
Yeah, silly people. Luckily, Seth and I are on the right side of history in liking that movie. I think those are both 4.5 stars from Owen, if I'm not mistaken. I think he loves Alien movies.
I think I have them both at 4. I think.
Yeah, I might rewatch one tonight. Honestly, I haven't seen those films in quite some time.
I watched Covenant like the first time. It was because
But now I want to watch Evil Dead. Now you're making me itch to watch Evil Dead. Now tonight.
Have you watched it recently? 2013.
I did. I mean, I don't think recently. I watched it.
No, I remember because you hadn't seen it, had you?
Wow, I watched it almost a year ago, March 16th.
Yeah, I remember.
That's crazy. And my review was ew, cool.
It's kind of valid, to be fair.
Kaylee Spaney's career though is insane. She's counting Alien Romulus and Civil War will be in only 9 films. And when she was younger, like teenager, she was started in Pacific Rim Uprising. Bad Times at the El Royale were her first 2 films. Then she did On the Basis of Sex, which I haven't seen, but is very highly rated. Then she had Vice when she was younger as well. And then Craft Legacy and How It Ends, which I haven't seen either of those. They're not really rated that highly. But then Priscilla, Civil War, Alien Romulus, like back to back to back. She's really on a run right now. And she's definitely going to be a face everyone's going to start to know and remember within Hollywood.
How old is she? Like maybe mid-20s-ish?
It's hard. I'll look it up. It's hard to guess because she's someone who, in Priscilla, Seth, as you know.
No, Priscilla's crazy because
at one point she looks 12, at one point she looks 30. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
She's 25, right in the middle. 25.
She's 25?
Yeah.
Yeah. George, the transformation work they did on the costumes and makeup in Priscilla is obscene. No, like she literally goes from looking 15 to 30 in the same film. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's so
and without like the classic Hollywood, like just put like wrinkle makeup on them. Like it's just purely just like
she's just dressed
the way she carries herself. Like you're so uncomfortable. The first act is like this girl's literally 11 years old, and then by the end of it, you're like, this woman could be like a manager at a company.
It's really crazy. Definitely.
Yeah. Love Kaylee Spaney. Excited to see her in more stuff. We also got another trailer for Monkey Man, which Seth is going to be seeing tomorrow, and then the rest of us, the worldwide release will be April 5th. So in about 2 weeks from now. I think we're all excited for this. It's going to be another hyper action film that Dev Patel is getting tons of praise for, which we all love to see. We all love Dev Patel. And this, from early reactions, it sounds like this is going to be the first of a fruitful career for directing from him. It's not going to be a one and done, it seems like. So
still really young as well. Great.
Still very young. Excited to see more. He's already getting, Jordan Peele producing, and he's already getting critical acclaim for this debut. So the sky's the limit for Dev Patel. Monkey Man, can't wait to hear Seth's reaction to it. And then, can't wait for us all of the rest of us to see it in 2 weeks. But then jumping into some new trailers we got, since we already got a Monkey Man and Furiosa one prior, The House of the Dragon Season 2 coming out June 16th. Team Green or Team Black? I love this show. I think I want to rewatch Season 1 before Season 2 again because no, it's been 2 years, right? I'm not crazy. It wasn't last year.
Yeah. Is anyone here Team Green? No?
No way.
Okay, good. I was just checking. Is anyone Team Green? That's crazy.
There are people, but the majority is Team Black.
This shows. I'm
probably just contrarians who want to be like, no, I'm different. I'm Team Green. Technically, Seth and I are wearing black and George wearing green, so that's how the podcast.
That's why I was asking George. I was a bit worried about.
I'll take it. King Aegon on the throne. Leave him there, baby.
Crazy.
I've been seeing what's I forget what's the eye patch dude's name. What's his name?
His real name?
No. Just the character he plays. Oh, it's Damon and the iPad dude. Aemon. You guys know who I'm talking about.
I know you mean.
The hardest TikTok edits of Damon and that guy's like eventual showdown, I guess, and it's getting me so excited.
Aemon, yeah, the iPad guy.
Aemon Targaryen.
Aemon Targaryen, yeah. I'm so excited. I never get excited for shows anymore, but I saw this and I was like, it's just shit. I don't know. I'm really excited for this. I'm really looking forward to it. Well, actually, saying that, there's another show we're going to speak about, which I'm all so excited for, which we're going to speak about in like a few minutes. But yeah, this was cool. I like how they released the trailer for both sides.
Yeah.
Very cool, very neat.
Yeah, I like
the whole Game of Thrones universe, like even though whatever, see that the final ending of Game of Thrones, like it's still that whole universe is so awesome, and I love anything that's diving back into it. And House of Dragon season 1 was great. It exceeded my expectations. I think it won the ReelTok award, I think, right, for best TV show of the year in 2022. Our once and only time doing the best TV show.
It was my pick.
Anyway, So, but yeah, I'm excited for season 2. But the TV show Seth was alluding to, The Penguin, not a release date officially, later this year on Max is what it says. Was that? I imagine that's what you were referencing, Seth, for another TV show.
Yeah. What the fuck else would it be? Yeah, definitely. I think there's also I don't know, anything in the kind of the Batman universe. You know, Colin Farrell, Penguin. I just think this looks cool, man. I'm really excited. I mean, since this was announced, I think I've been intrigued. You know, just seeing Colin Farrell's portrayal of the Penguin. I think he did really, really well. I think there's a lot to go into in the character as well. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching this. Another show that I'm actually quite excited for. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it's gangster lore that like they can really dive into with the Penguin.
It's a mob show, really, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah, which it should be. Obviously, he's not the center of attention in the Batman, so like you don't really get too much depth on his character. But like the Penguin is such a complex character, especially in graphic novels. There's like a lot that can really go into it. He's got like his own entire side quest going on. I don't know if Matt Reeves is involved in this production, but either way, I love the Gotham that Matt Reeves has built.
They should have brought back Danny DeVito's play the Penguin. What do you think? Crazy. Imagine if it wasn't Colin Farrell all along.
Dude, Colin Farrell is so good as the Penguin. It was his best role of 2022.
Shut up, George. We had this debate already, and you were proven incorrect.
Yeah, best role of 2022. Going to be his best role of 2024 or 5.
Is he in anything else this year?
I have no idea.
I actually don't know if he is anything else this year, which is kind of crazy because he's been long.
Because he's mid. That's a lie. I actually really like Colin Farrell. I watched Horrible Bosses like not too long ago. He's so fucking funny. God. We got to cut the fat. What? You got fat people. You got to let them go.
Yeah, the Penguin. I mean, the Batman already. Matt Reeves' Batman was already about as like grounded and gritty as you can get for a Batman movie. But the Penguin's going to be even more just grounded, just purely street level mob boss type stuff. Like you said, it's going to be more a mob show than it will be a Batman show, which I'm very excited for. So the Penguin looks great. We'll see when it releases. I would guess it's probably gonna be like fall time, winter time, but yeah, definitely very much looking forward to that.
Who's like actually directing all the episodes and stuff? I don't actually know much about it, to be honest.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, I'd imagine it's gonna have more.
Well, Reeves is the primary producer, which is cool.
Yeah.
Obviously. Craig Zobel is directing the first 3, and then Helen Shaver is also directing.
Craig Zobel, did you say?
Yeah, let's see what else he's got.
Oh no!
What?
He's done 2 films and they're both shit.
Oh, The Hunt is definitely bad. I did not like The Hunt.
The other Compliance is. Oh no! Who was the other guy, Tyler?
Helen Shaver.
Helen Shaver.
Craig has directed a couple episodes of Westworld and The Leftovers, though, which I both really like. So maybe he's better at TV than movies. Helen Shaver.
Wow! Okay, that's interesting. Okay, whatever.
Any good stuff from her that you've seen?
Wait,
a lot of horror.
Wait, I'm seeing The Color of Money, Scorsese's film. I don't know if she's in that. She didn't write it. She's in it.
Oh yeah, she's more an actress than a director. Okay, maybe she's been an actress on director stuff, but it looks like she's been everything on her IMDb is like TV series. So
we are in trouble.
We'll see. Matt Reeves is still producing, so should still be, and it's still going to be his world. So it's not like they're painting anything from scratch. They're going to be working with existing stuff that was kind of already laid out. But the Penguin's going to be great. Don't.
No. I'm definitely lower on that guy's films, that Compliance, and the rest of people. I think most people quite like it. I'm still looking for. I think it'll be really good. I'm excited, definitely.
George, I want to know your reaction to the second trailer of The Fall Guy, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, you said you're starting to get more excited for that movie as time goes by.
I've been a Fall Guy truther since day one. I want everyone to know this right now. All right. Everyone's been a Fall Guy hater. Okay. I have been on board since day one. This movie looks like it's going to be so much fun. I love Ryan Gosling. I love Emily Blunt. I love Bullet Train. Not afraid to say it. I think that movie absolutely rips, and it's a lot of fun.
Speak your truth.
So I'm excited for David Leitch's follow-up to Bullet Train, which just looks like another really stupid, fun, stylish film. Early reviews coming out of South by Southwest, glowing, 3.5, 4 stars coming from mutuals. So I'm really excited. Second trailer just kind of added to my excitement. It's Ryan Gosling, honestly. I think I'm just in love with Ryan Gosling, which like every man is probably.
George, I need to tell you. I need to tell you something quickly. Sorry, I just found that out. You know the guy who we just said directed The Penguin? He directed a TV show that you give a 4.5.
A limited series?
Yeah, Mayor of Easttown.
Oh, yeah, with Kate Winslet.
Yeah,
that's a fantastic
he did the whole show of that, so maybe.
That's like one of the best limited series we've seen in the last like decade.
Okay, so that's more promising. Maybe he's a TV guy.
That's a fantastic show. Wow, that's great news. But yeah, Fall Guy is gonna rip. I'm a believer. I'm a Gosling lover. I'm a Blunt lover. Emily Blunt lover. Let me make that one clear. Second trailer just adding to my excitement. Can't wait. I can't believe it's in May. I really thought it was like next week for some reason.
It's in May.
Stop. And then I looked at tickets and it said May 2nd. And I was like, damn, I got to wait May 2nd for the best movie of the year to come out.
I hope it's May 2nd, like 2028, to be fair. You know?
Stop. We're gonna do an entire episode dedicated to the Fall Guy. It's gonna be 2 hours straight.
It's a big release. We will definitely.
Well, this is like George calling a shot with the Fall Guy for me, which is funny because I ended up being like the lowest on the pod, I think, on Wonka. I still give it 3.5, but I was like the Wonka truther. Everyone was hating.
Hey,
I was Wonka. No,
I was wonking from day one.
I saw no one hyping it up on Twitter. Everyone was.
I was a Wonka hater. I was a confirmed.
I was wonking from day one. I was always wonking.
Okay, fair enough.
I love Wonka now, but if we go back a couple episodes, I was definitely shitting on those trailers.
George might think the Fall Guy is mid then, you know?
No, Fall Guy about to be better.
Although the reviews, I'm just seeing like David Elright, you know, who obviously is quite
divisive.
Yeah, he gave it a 3.5, which for him is like kind of.
Yeah, but he also gave Dune like a 2, so
valid. To be fair, Dune is mid. But yeah, I mean 3.5s and 4s across the board, which is better than I thought. You know, so maybe.
To me, I think the Fall Guy just looks like a very inoffensive, fun time movie that you know. I don't know. It looks fine to me.
That's what we can hope for nowadays.
I think it looks shit.
Don't send me.
I'm trying to think of a time I've ever disliked a Ryan Gosling movie.
Oh, I'll talk the Notebook, the mid book.
What?
The mid book.
You're out of your mind.
No. Did you ever see Gangster Squad with Emma Stone, 2013? Josh Brolin.
I have not, but I've heard it's not good.
Yeah. But apart from that, he does choose pretty good films, I will say.
Wow. Did anyone pick Emma and Ryan for our duo draft that we did?
No, because it had to be
3. I've had 3, but Gangster Squad's just too weak. Yeah, because La La Land, Crazy Stupid Love, and
Crazy Stupid Love. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They need to get back for the 4P. They keep teasing it at every award show that they're still best of buds for sure. But speaking of what actually is going to be like the worst movie of the year, Rebel Moon Part 2, the Scargiver trailer came out. Looks a lot more action packed than the first one, but Rebel Moon Part 1 was so shit and unimaginative. And Zack Snyder trying to act like in the interview with Joe Rogan that it was a more popular movie than Barbie because of the way Netflix does numbers is frankly hilarious. But Rebel Moon Part 2, Scargiver, what do we think of the trailer?
I don't care. I'm not watching it. I just watch
gun to your head. What's the name of Rebel Moon Part 1?
Oh,
I know it's
a Child of Fire.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You survive. You live it.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder doesn't deserve his weird fan base, man.
Relax. It's getting hard to defend him between his Batman comments and his.
Yeah, but George, have you met him? That's the question. I'm like best buds with the guy. You know, he knows me.
It is getting very hard to defend him, but I will do it. I'm not excited for Scargiver, but I
probably will watch it because we'll review it. But when does it come out?
April 19th, and then the extended cuts come out both beyond like later.
Just release the extended. It's
so
stupid.
I mean, I I can see why the number for Netflix has like the highest viewed movie of last year, because the way Netflix counts them is they assume anytime anyone watches anything on Netflix, they assume 2 people are watching. So they give 2 views per view. And anytime you press play on something, you get a view. So for me, I know for me, Rebel Moon, I probably watched that in 3 sittings. I'd like watch them like, this is so dreadful and boring. I'm going to go away and come back later. So me alone probably gave it 6 views because it was 2 views each time I was watching it. It probably took me 3 times to get through it. So I can see how the numbers would ride up real quick.
Do you know what is quite surprising about Rebel Moon? I don't generally know how Zack Snyder, I think we live in like a film world, so we often hear about him more than, the average person. It's only got the first Rebel Moon. It's only got 130k logs on Letterboxd, which, considering it came out in December, isn't, a lot, is it really? Considering it was marketed quite heavily and everyone knew about it. I thought it would. I mean, assuming Netflix obviously does quite a lot of numbers, but is Zack Snyder really that big in the general population?
Yes.
Is he?
Yes. You
With
have
what?
his DC universe. Do you know how many people ride this DC universe? If you think I suck it off, I'm on the lower end of the suck off spectrum here. Okay, there are people that think Zack Snyder is a god. There are people that will give their life to have Zack Snyder complete his Justice League trilogy.
How many logs, George, do you think Justice League has? Sorry, not
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, that one. How many logs?
Well, it's 200k alone from myself.
Okay, great. How many logs is it?
I'm gonna say how many. Oh,
so I thought that would be like. I mean, I'm giving it away, but I thought that would be like really hard. Because I hear about it
now
650,000.
Ooh, that seems high.
Do you think? I thought it was low. That
it definitely has not hit the million log club, has it?
I thought it would have done. I mean, it's not. I'll give you a clue. It's not.
No, it definitely has. I'm gonna go lower than 650. I'm gonna go like 450.
Because it's 560, so you're in the middle of both. Okay. But I thought I don't know. I just hear about it so often that I thought it would be a lot higher, but maybe not. It's the same way like Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel.
I thought like Man of Steel would have been like dude. Superman film. I thought it'd be like pop it.
We got to do a Zack Snyder deep dive episode.
I'll do it.
I'd be down for that.
I'll do it before Rebel Moon. I'll do it.
Yeah, let's do it before Rebel Moon.
I've only got like.
No, let's even get Owen on that episode. Owen is a Zack Snyder truther too. The only
I've only got 2.
The only place in film where Owen and I are not butting heads is Zack Snyder.
Zack Midder.
Yeah, Zack Snyder, I do generally tend to really like all of his films pretty much, but the stuff for Netflix I've all very much disliked. Army of Thieves, Army of the Dead, Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2. I mean, I'm already saying I'm not gonna like Part 2.
I'm excited to watch Watchmen. I haven't seen that before. It looks pretty good.
Watchmen's good.
I truly, Seth, think Watchmen is going to be a top 5 comic book movie for you.
Really?
It is so good.
It does look like some bad light, to be fair. I'm quite excited.
It's so good.
Same with Justice League. Justice League's like 8 hours long. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. It's too long.
Maybe we'll recommend that on our next Patreon review.
Yeah, they fucking will. They never, ever give us fucking short releases. Yeah.
Every movie we do for Patreon is over 2.5 hours.
I said this to them the other day, idiots.
There are good movies under 2 hours, guys.
Yeah, there are indeed. We don't have to always watch an elephant sitting still for 4 hours. Jump into. I mean, I love that movie, but long movie. Star Wars. George, Star Wars: The Acolyte. How you feeling about that?
I was feeling good. Let me say it. I was feeling good. I think the premise is really cool, and obviously I've been advocating probably since day one of this podcast that we need to move away from the Skywalker.
It was literally day one. That was like one of our
first. I think legitimately our first episode we were talking about this because we were talking about like the D23 news. So I'm pretty sure it's 2 years ago I was talking about this. We need to move away from the Skywalker saga, and that's exactly what the Acolyte is doing. Unfortunately, on paper, sounds cool. Trailer looks just like production slop. Like I didn't think it looked that good.
Did you see the like-dislike ratio on YouTube?
Yeah, it has like 160k dislikes or something, like a ridiculous amount of dislikes.
Star Wars fans are the worst.
Yeah, Star Wars fans are the worst fans out there. They are. I mean, it's like kind of understandable at this point, but like, relax. But no, I did. The trailer didn't do much for me, unfortunately. It's kind of the problem that I have a lot with these like Disney Plus shows. They just look too clean.
Yeah.
And like that's where I think Rogue One and Andor really succeeded. Like they really made the world feel like a resistance driven world where like these people are truly like struggling to find themselves and they're living in like these dumpsters. And it's just like a shitty world to live in. The Acolyte just looks a little too clean, especially for like this narrative that they're going for. I will still tune in, obviously. I will tune into anything Star Wars because it's still one of my favorite universes out there, and I really do love it. But I don't know. I'm skeptical now that we have a trailer.
Yeah, did Cam tweet anything about it? I know he's not here today, but did he?
I don't think
seem
so.
excited,
I
negative?
don't remember.
He saw it and he was like, "Fuck that shit! I'm not tweeting about it."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know he was moving this week and then straight into like working on the weekend. So I imagine
I don't think
he
he
hadn't
did.
been online much at all. But the next final two trailers we can breeze by quickly. Actually, I'll throw in a third one. So all three we can breeze by quickly. But the only other TV show trailer that I don't have on the rundown is the Doctor Who. Seth, I want to ask you: have you watched? Like, how much Doctor Who have you watched?
So
obviously, it's way bigger over there than it is here. But
yeah, so I grew up watching a lot of Doctor Who, but I'm talking like obviously there was the original series which has been going on since like 70s, 60s. And then they rebooted it in like 2004. So I watched a lot of that one. And so I probably watched it. I was really obsessed with the kid until I was like maybe 12, 13. But I haven't watched any of it since at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny because, obviously Doctor Who, they have like, every Doctor has like a companion.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to that Netflix event, it was the original companion from one I used to watch was there. And it was like, I saw it and I was like, it's so nostalgia. Do you know what I mean? It was just weird. Mm-hmm. I've not watched it in years, so I don't know what to expect anymore. I think that Ncuti Gatwa, who is the new Doctor, did you guys watch? I'm assuming you didn't watch Sex Education, which was the Netflix show, did you?
I've
really
heard good things. Yeah,
me and Anna watched it, and I really liked it. I didn't think the last season wasn't great, but it was really good for the most part, and I think he works as the Doctor. He maybe adds something different, so I might try and watch it, but it's not something I'm overly excited about because I haven't watched it in. Honestly, I've watched a couple of old episodes, just to like go back, whatever, but I haven't watched any of the newer ones. The last probably new episode I watched was when I was maybe 13, so it's been such a long time, but it is such a huge thing here. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I think they made the decision to air it here at like 12 a.m. To accommodate for US viewers, which is crazy, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know anyone in my daily life who has ever seen an episode of Doctor Who.
It's the most English British show, really, really bizarre. I think that's right anyway. But yeah, I might watch it because I think he's a really cool actor and I do like him a lot. So I might give it a try, but it's not something I'm crazy about anyway.
Is this his first time as the Doctor, or has he already been? Okay. Is this a show where you can jump in without seeing all the other previous? Is every Doctor installment, every Doctor and Companion new one, like just a completely new series almost?
It's a whole new thing. The old ones they were really good actually. It's a good show. Obviously, Matt Smith was the Doctor for ages. I haven't watched any of his, but he's a great actor, so I'm assuming his were pretty good. So you can just jump in wherever really, but they're fun. I think it'd be worth a try, definitely.
Yeah, it's like a whole culture that most people in the US, I know me for sure, are just so unfamiliar with. Like I know people over in Europe, like ride or die. They're like, this is my Doctor. Every other Doctor stinks. Like very much a big tribal type of show where it's like whoever Doctor you grew up with, you just are certain is the best there ever was. And a lot of people fight over who the best was. But
it's like a Batman actor, It's like the one we connect with the most. People like debate it a lot over here, definitely.
Final two trailers. So Seth, I know you are not a Tim Burton guy. Beetlejuice 2. You excited?
Mid. So I don't think he's a good. To be fair, I didn't watch. Wait, did he direct any of Wednesday, or did he just produce that? I know you watched it, George.
I believe he produced.
Oh yeah, well, I don't think that. I said this many times. I don't think he made a good film since 2007, which was Sweeney Todd. And I will say, I do like a lot of the old Tim Burton, like Edward Scissorhands is great. Sweeney Todd I think is really good. I think the Batmans are really good, especially the second. I think he made some really, really good films, but I think he's a hack now, and I don't think he knows what he's doing. And I think his novelty is weird, and I think it looks shit, to be honest. I think it looks really shit. Not to be negative, but I just don't really like Tim Burton anymore. I don't think he makes good films, but yeah, it's what it is. It's gained so much traction. I feel like people have been waiting for this for such a
Dude, I got shredded on my. I quote tweeted the trailer and I used like a GIF that said like "Who gives a fuck?" I got shredded.
I called
a lot of people give a fuck.
Dude, a lot of people give a fuck. A lot more people.
No, it's huge. Like it's because Beetlejuice is. I don't know if you can call it a cult classic. Maybe you could, but it really big film. I've been passed down generations. You know, my mum may have watched it as a kid, and I do like the original Beetlejuice. I think Michael Keaton is going to absolutely hone this in and just be the most just whatever performance. Like, even from the one thing he says in the trailer, whatever it is, it's like this guy.
He's there for a bag. That's it. He's there for a bag.
I'll still watch it, and I'll be, hoping it's good, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be shit.
You ever seen Sleepy Hollow with John?
Yeah. I think it's okay. I wasn't huge on it. I think it was all right. I think that was where Burton was actually interesting visually. I think that film, like visually, is really great. I just didn't think the stories are great. And then as soon as it got to like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Dumbo a few years ago, and Alice in Wonderland and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and Frankie and and all this shit, it's just like it just doesn't interest me. You did one with Amy Adams and Christoph Waltz a few years ago, maybe more than a few years ago, called did you guys watch it? Big Eyes, I think it was called. Amy Adams, Christoph Waltz. Don't. It's shit, so don't bother. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not keen on Tim Burton. I don't think he's very good anymore.
Our final trailer is an official ReelTok Award watch list member. We got Harold and the Purple Crayon with Zach Levi. It could end up easily in the top 10, worst nominees of the year, but we'll see. Honestly, to me, this looks like, Zach Levi is an actor who used to have a promising career. Now he's in just like a lot of shit. And I feel like he's capitalizing on it as best as one possibly could in a situation. So he's still getting bags. He's in a lot of crap movies. Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Shazam guy?
Yeah, Shazam. I really like the first Shazam. Don't really care for the second one. I don't think he's a bad Shazam either. I think it's more so like his comments about like how like he thought he was the greatest thing ever, and when the DC ownership changed hands, he got so butthurt. But Harold and the Purple Crayon, like if kids love it and there's like a great movie for kids, awesome. Then I'm happy for it. But other than that,
this guy's filmography is dreadful. By the way. Like really bad.
I think which one is it? Enchanted or Tangled? Which was the one he was in?
Tangled. I think Tangled's all right.
No, I'm a big fan.
Again, bro, I got shredded on my TikTok video for Tangled.
Why would you
like it?
Diced up. I posted.
Anna loves Tangled. She might have commented on one of her alt accounts.
Dude, I posted a video. I was like, really bad movies that have higher budgets than Dune Part 2.
You called Tangled really bad?
It was like Quantumania, Captain Marvel, Fast X.
Tangled.
Dude, my entire comment section blew up.
Tangled's fine.
Yeah, and I would blow up with them. That's a crazy
diced up.
Yeah, Tangled. People love Tangled. Also, Tangled's a huge film. Like, was it DreamWorks? I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, like Tangled's huge. Oh, Disney Animations.
But that does it for trailers. We had so much this week in both the movie and TV sphere. A lot to look forward to. A lot that looks shaky, but definitely more so good than bad. Let's get into kind of one of the big stories of the week. So, Late Night with the Devil, shown to be using AI. At first, they said it was seemingly in 3 interstitial graphics that were AI generated. That one like very eagle-eyed Letterboxd reviewer caught, because this has been in festival circuits for almost a year now.
Yeah, it's weird.
Obviously premiered at South by Southwest, no one caught it. And there's one dude posted a Letterboxd review, and it just opened the floodgates. So crazy that he caught onto it. I mean, imagine someone would have eventually, especially when it comes out where you can watch it at home, where you're not at the whim of like, a theater screen. You can like, pause or something on your TV screen and like really dissect these images. But at first, they confirmed the 3 interstitial graphics were generated using AI, and then they said they had an artist touch it up or whatever. But and a lot of people started saying, like it's just 3 graphics or whatever. But then also we end up seeing like, no, when you look at more parts of the trailer, like the entire backdrop of the set is those graphics blown up. So like basically the whole set design then would have been AI generated. So definitely a lot of AI was used in the overall set design and graphic design of this movie. But this is a very contentious topic. It's a topic that's not going to go away anytime soon. It's going to be debated and more apparent as every day and week and month goes by. I mean, we had OpenAI schedule meetings with Hollywood studios and talent agencies to try and encourage filmmakers and studios to use AI in their work. So let's just kind of open the floor. Like I just want to just hear what your guys' takeaways when you saw this, what your thoughts were, what you kind of all think about it. I'll start with George.
Yeah, very, very contentious topic, and it's only going to get louder and more aggressive over the years, especially as studios kind of move towards AI, because I do think that's going to be the direction. As much as people are voicing their concerns online, I don't think our voices are going to be loud enough to truly promote change. It's also very interesting. I've mentioned to you guys in the past, I work in an industry that rapidly rapidly accelerates and even more so aggressively promotes their use of artificial intelligence. So I'm kind of around it, I guess, fairly often, and I kind of see how people and it's obviously very interesting comparing the financial industry to the movie industry, but its use in the financial industry is something that people are rather excited for, not because it's going to be taking jobs from people, but because it's going to be something that's going to aid us in our everyday life and kind of make our already very, very stressful lives less stressful. But I understand its concerns in the movie industry where, you have struggling artists, you have post-grad graphic designers that, just want to do something in the industry. And now AI is kind of taking over. And I saw a lot of tweets of a lot of artists kind of creating their own rendition of that still, and basically being like, this would have been a dream job for me. So from that lens, it's understandable and it's sad. And I think AI, one, we need to accept that it is going to have a place in this industry down the line. And unfortunately, I don't think we have loud enough voices to stop it. But I also think it's something that shouldn't necessarily have a place in this industry. I very much understand, in the case of Late Night with the Devil, and I don't know the ins and outs of this argument, but maybe perhaps they were trying to cut corners because of their budget. Maybe they truly just didn't have it in them to pay an artist to create these stills, so they took to AI and thought they can get away with it. Which I guess could be understandable. But when we start seeing AI in larger blockbusters, I think most recently Secret Invasion used it, and that's when it's going to get dicey, because now you're kind of getting into these studios who have the monetary capacity to pay these graphic designers, and they're choosing to cut corners. In the case of Late Night with the Devil, maybe that's not the case. I don't know. I'm not really well versed in this topic, but unfortunately, like I said, I don't think our voices are going to be powerful enough online. Everyone, I think, can make as many TikToks as they want. Everyone can tweet as much as they want. Whether you think it's a ethical or moral dilemma, I don't think anything we say is going to be enough to convince studios otherwise. Even after this week's Twitter uproar, you already saw OpenAI have open dialogue with these studios. So clearly they're not listening to us. They don't care. Which is unfortunate, obviously, because there are, like I said, a lot of artists out there struggling to find work, struggling to make a living, struggling to promote their art and promote themselves. And this use of AI is kind of dicking them, unfortunately. And like I said, we saw a lot of instances on Twitter where graphic designers are creating their own renditions of these stills and basically saying this would have been a dream job for me to work on a movie like this. So it's a very contentious conversation, like you said, Tyler. It's not going to go away. I think it's only going to get more aggressive. It's going to only lead to more Twitter fights and TikTok fights. And I think they're a little useless because, again, I don't think our voices are as loud as we think they are.
Seth, what's your interpretation and takeaway?
Yeah, pretty similar. I think that, I saw a lot of videos this week. Mostly it's against, but a lot of videos saying, it's a smaller deal because it's a little independent film. You shouldn't boycott it, whatever. But I think the issue is that AI in itself, in whatever industry you're in, is a very, very slippery slope in the use. So if production companies see that they can get away with it and they'll stay make money off the back of it, it will be a case where it will become more morally acceptable, and more companies will use it over time. And I think the massive issue with it is that something like that, where it's a graphic in the background or whatever, people are saying that, you know, they couldn't afford it, whatever, that's fine, you know, smaller film. But so many people on Twitter said, you know, and it's really the case, you could go on Fiverr and find a very capable artist, and they'll do it for, you know, $50, $100, whatever. And I think that not even just from a monetary standpoint, these artists need it's such a hard industry to break into, especially when you are in the film space, and they need the opportunities, not even from just a monetary point of view, but from just getting their name out there. And I'm sure a lot of them would even do it for free and stuff like that, just because it's work and they can get their name out and they can be featured in a film, and it'll be a dream job for them, which obviously we saw on Twitter, a lot of people showing off their stuff, which all were better, by the way, because fuck me, how anyone disputed that it was AI before it was proved AI, and they said it, like, what, the skeleton's like left foot. What we doing?
If you like look closely at the pumpkins, it's like
the pumpkins, crazy. Yeah, I think it's a very slippery slope, and I'm completely against it, as obviously everyone is. But I do think it's just like George said, going to get unfortunately more aggressive, and the use is going to be just continued and much more over time, which is really shit. But I do see it going down that way, even though I think it's terrible for the industry, really, really bad.
Yeah, AI is such a tough topic because, similar to George, I work in an industry that, you know, utilizes it heavily, you know, and satellite usage and technology, and it's an engineering firm. It's going to use AI and utilize it. But I think AI gets a bad rap in terms of overall what it is, because I think in general, like, artificial intelligence for like the healthcare industry is going to help revolutionize things and save so many lives in so many industries. Is going to streamline things, make things better.
Yeah,
virtual reality. A lot of stuff with, you know, being able to see things we never otherwise would have been able to see. There's so many industries where AI is going to make things the biggest positive revolution we've seen in a long time. But at the same time, something like an artificial intelligence, when it gets smarter, it's going to start taking over more and more. And when you put it in a creative space, it gets very difficult because something has to train these AIs, and what's teaching them what graphics to make and what videos to produce is based on, you know, probably libraries of millions of terabytes of data of existing artists and existing copyrighted works that just get shoved into these algorithms that then spit out an amalgamation of dozens and hundreds of thousands of stuff that was already made by someone else that's now kind of spitting out their own creation of it. So it's, you know, it is technically stealing from all these artists that did previous work. Like I'm not an expert on AI. I think I know a good amount because of work, but I'm not an expert at this point with AI. I don't think any movies or videos or graphics are generated just purely from an AI's own general self-awareness or ability to create. I think it's all from libraries of data that they then use to kind of create this stuff based on inputs. But going to Late Night with the Devil, it was a lower budget film, but, you know, still over $1 million to make. And I will say, just working in, you know, an industry that has like programs on it, like program managers and stuff, I can see where they're coming. Like, I mean, I'm not agreeing with it, but I can see where they're coming from, just simply because I've worked on programs that are $50 million, $100 million programs, and there'll be something for like $250 that would like make something easier. And they're like, nah, man, we just can't afford it. We can't do it. And it's like, it just drives you mad, because you're like, this is just such a small cost, so easy to do. But these companies and programs that have hundreds of millions of dollars still would just nickel and dime the hell out of everything. And as we've seen with the strikes and how studios operate, they're definitely in the same way. They're going to nickel and dime everything. Even the ones that are $200 million production, they're still going to say, no, we can't afford this artist. It is disappointing because, like you guys said, we've seen so many artists on Twitter come out and show like, look, I could have made this for like $100. What I don't know is, what I'm a little unsure of is, I know there is an art directors guild in Hollywood that I was researching. So a union for graphic designers. So I don't really think a studio can just go like, hey, I'll pay you $100 to make this. I think they have to go through like the union and have that, which then will obviously drive costs up. But as we've seen with all the union busting mob boss movies of the 1900s, like, that's the thing with unions. They do a lot of great things. Unions are awesome for workers' rights, for people's rights, and make a lot of great change happen that should happen. But we also see the flip side. If a union occurs, the people with the money are going to do everything in their power to skirt around it. So AI is going to be here to stay. Open AI, I think the headlines are very like, and I'm not pro like AI movies whatsoever. I think it is a slippery slope, and I'm really disappointed to see Late Night with the Devil use it. And anything that uses AI, I'm going to be disappointed in for sure, especially when it's something that seems so easy as doing this, whereas stuff we see like Dune and plenty of other movies use AI in like the tools that they're using to make the films, which I think is like a proper use of AI, not using AI to replace something that would have been the film. Rather, it's just a tool to make the job of the workers easier, as opposed to a job that's replacing the workers. But yeah, it's tough. I think OpenAI will be interesting to see what those meetings end up doing. I think the headline I just thought was funny to be like OpenAI scheduling meeting with Hollywood studios to like convince them to use AI in their work. I don't think it's that. I'm sure it's a much more of like an informational gathering session of just being like, hey, what's this all about? Let's hear about it. But we talked about it. It's not going away anytime soon. At some point, every single major production is going to have AI in it in some way or another. Something like I thought of like with the Holdovers, for example, it was shot digitally and then they add in the film grain after. I can easily imagine that being an automated AI job, just filming a movie in digital, because as we've seen, even nowadays, film is so expensive to use. Uncut Gems, for example, Safdie brothers took a massive pay cut to make it just because they were insistent on using film. And every year that goes by, film is getting so much more expensive. So there's going to come a day where digital is going to be just the thing that people are going to use, because film is going to become, almost archaic. So I could easily see something like the Holdovers, just make a digital movie and then just throw in an AI prompt, be like, make this look like a movie in the 1970s with a grain on it, and boom, it spits it out. So it's something that's going to be touching every film coming forward. I would love to see it stay in the realm of what we saw with Dune Part 2, where they use AI as a tool to help the artists working on the film to make things easier, as opposed to using AI to remove an artist's job. But yeah, this is a debate that just got started. Late Night with the Devil being the first one to kind of lead this tip of the sphere. And I saw some Twitter discourse talking about, like, Secret Invasion, like George said, use AI. Why wasn't the outrage there? There was, but it wasn't nearly this level. And I think it's just because Late Night with the Devil is like a good movie. Like, it's getting great reviews and people are excited about it. So it made them that much more disappointed. Where Secret Invasion, it was like, oh, it's using AI. Are you going to boycott it now? It's like, I wasn't watching that shit anyways.
It was still outraged though. There was like a lot.
There was definitely, but I think this seems stronger and louder at this point.
Yeah, because people want to watch it. That's the
right.
thing about Secret Invasion.
Mm-hmm. And I'll just end it with this. I'll say I'm still going to watch it. I still think this movie looks great, and I'm not going to let I'm not going to let the AI impact my rating. I mean, it's just one of those things, like, you got to figure out for yourself what you were comfortable with. We've all had experiences with, rating films with directors that are very horrible people, or a movie that is filled with controversy. It's like, you just have to, for whatever works for you personally, if you want to be able to think about stuff that goes into a production other than the production itself and think how that's going to impact your rating, I have no issue with that. It's just, just something people have to figure out. But I'm going to watch Late Night with the Devil, not going to let it kind of skew my perception, although I'm very disappointed in their usage and I'm against it, because I do think it's a slippery slope. But kind of like George is saying, I don't think anyone's going to stop it. It's a slippery slope, but, we're slipping down the slope at this point, and no one's going to be stopping that ice. So that's all I kind of have to say. I don't know, anyone else have any comments further on AI? I feel like we dissected well our viewpoints. Yeah, but now we'll jump into movie news. That was kind of the big news of the week that kind of took over social media. But now movie news. So all 8 live action Spider-Man movies are returning to theaters this year, starting with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Yeah, it's probably just an American thing, unfortunately.
It's so annoying. It's fucking the only.
Oh, are you not getting it?
No, and I was so excited.
No.
No. There's only one of the new releases. Right? Get it.
George, you have tickets, right? To Spider-Man?
Yeah. I heard both of you talk at the same time. I didn't know the answer. Yeah, I got tickets to all 3 Raimi trilogies. Or all 3 Raimi movies.
Oh, he did 3. I need to go on them.
Yeah, bad way to word that. And the Amazing Spider-Man 1. Might do Amazing Spider-Man 2 if there's like open tickets. But I'm not really itching to see that one. I like Amazing Spider-Man 1. I'm a defender of that movie.
I think it's all right.
Yeah, I gave it 3.5. It is absolutely better than Spider-Man 3, and I'm seeing Spider-Man. It's not even an argument. I'll say it. I say it time and time again. This revisionist history on Spider-Man 3 is insane.
No, to be fair, I've always had it like a 3.5. It
is insane. No one ever had this movie above a 3. No one.
I did. I did 3.5. Longest time I've known you.
You're lying. You're lying to my face. You're going to hell. You're lying. Lying is a sin. Please do not lie, brother.
Never lie.
George, you have to go to the re-release of No Way Home and freak out when the 2 Spider-Man come in, as if you never knew that was going to happen.
Like, oh my God, who knew?
Just start screaming at the top of your lungs, throwing your popcorn.
Yeah, I don't much care to see as I do like the Holland trilogy. I'm not a hater. I will never say I'm a hater. I just don't care to see those movies again in theaters.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like Raimi Spider-Man, I never saw any of those movies in theaters.
I bet we'd see George give Spider-Man 3 a 3.5 or higher when he rewatches it. I can guarantee it right now.
I mean, listen, well, maybe it's the theater. Maybe I need to watch it on a big screen.
When was I watch Spider-Man 3? Genuinely.
When what?
Spider-Man 3.
Last time? Yeah, it's probably been a couple of years.
I'm telling you, you'll like it more now. Tyler, back me up on this.
No, I think he will too.
I hope I do. I truly hope I do.
What are you at on it now?
2.5.
Okay, yeah, I could see a bump up to 3.5. I think for
I don't hate the movie. I think
you'll like it more though.
Yeah, I hate you guys.
Well, I do think it is a grower. It is massively a grower. It's one of those.
It's not a shower. It's a grower.
Yeah, we like growers too.
Theaters to me like add or subtract half a star depending on if I like it or not. Like I feel like a theater experience, if it's positive, it's going to probably likely raise it a half star higher than normal just because I have such a great time in the theater with it. But if I hate a movie, I'm going to be like pissed at wasting my time, like going to the theater. Yeah, so like a streaming release that's like a 1 star is probably going to be like a half star if I saw in theaters, like 65. Just because I just get so pissed. I'm like, I paid money on this. I came to this theater and you give me this shit. But speaking of re-releases,
65 is good.
65 shit. Speaking of re-releases of a series, but what much weirder, all 9 films of the Skywalker saga are being re-released, but it's in a movie marathon format for one day only. All 9 films back to back to back to back to back.
What's the Skywalker stuff? Is that the 3 trilogies? Yeah,
all 9 of the films
back to back to back. Jesus, Christ,
one day only, a 24-hour back. Like, why would they do that? Like,
aren't they just like show the
for $80 a piece? Like this. I mean,
wait, $80 a movie?
No, $80. You have to buy a ticket for the whole thing. Yeah, you can't.
Just, that's fine. I thought you meant 80. I thought you meant 80 per film. I was like,
no, that's still like I know Star Wars has a cult fan base, but who the hell would want to do this?
No, I think a lot of people will do this. I think a lot of people will do this. I think a lot of like Star Wars. I think a lot of people will do this.
Yeah,
9 is a lot though. 9 is like
it's 24 hours.
I could do like 4. But like 9 is crazy. That's too much.
Oh yeah, all 9. I could do the original and the prequels.
I could do the original trilogy and then like throw Last Jedi in there, obviously. But then after that, I think. But imagine having to watch like what are the worst ones? Like what's the latest?
I just don't think I could sit in those chairs.
Right. You would leave before Rise of the Skywalker, wouldn't you? Sure.
Yeah. Like, I would leave before Last Jedi.
No, so if they go 1 through 9, that'd be pretty perfect. For Phantom Menace, I'd kind of like have like a little breakfast there. I wouldn't be paying too much attention. Lock in for 2, 3, 4, 5. At 6, Return of the Jedi. Don't love that one as much. That's when I kind of leave, get a dinner.
What order are they showing it in?
They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So
okay, so they're doing it. Okay,
yeah, which is the smart way to go.
Yeah,
but yeah, like we should start like a viral TikTok trend called the Skywalker Challenge. And it's you go to the movie marathon and you're not allowed to leave once, not for food, drink, bathroom, nothing. The Skywalker Challenge. You heard it here first. 24 hours.
We're not getting here anyway. So it's all good.
If someone can complete that, I would be very happy with that. But a live action Popeye movie is in the works. Who do we think should star as the lead? I feel like
sorry, hold on. Just back to the Skywalker side. Yeah. Do you think is there any 9 movies in a row that you would sit through in a theater?
Yes, all 9 of my favorite films.
No. Like
it has to be a series.
Like is there any series? Like Seth, would you sit in a theater for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies, all 6 back to back?
No, I'd do the Lord of the Rings, then the first 2 Hobbit films, probably.
Yeah.
Harry Potter would be the closest I would ever
get.
I do.
Harry Potter, I was gonna say.
I do. Yeah, that's 8, isn't it?
Harry Potter.
I might do like maybe Mission Impossible. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Mission Impossible.
I think it might be a little exhausting though with that much action.
No. You're right. Is there any? That's a good question.
Trilogies we could do easily. Like I would.
Yeah. That's not. That's a good question.
I think Harry Potter's the closest because it's they're all good movies. Yeah. They're whimsical. They're fun. There's a lot of lightness and brevity to a lot of them. It's not just pure.
I could do it.
Like Seth, would you do all 5 Evil Dead movies?
Yeah,
they're short though. They're like 90 minutes though.
I think I would do all 5 because they're short.
I could do all 5 Evil Dead movies.
The Harry Potters I would be able to do, but they are all like long. The first 2. I could do the Evil Dead.
5 Evil Dead movies is like would be done before Zack Snyder's Justice League would be done.
You're not even wrong. I could do the Evil Dead films, because I like them all and they're all like,
Yeah.
I feel a bit weird after. Imagine watching 5. You'd feel.
Dude, I would need like a cleanse.
you actually would, for real.
I would need to douse myself in holy water or something.
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that. Actually, I want to know.
So yeah, Popeye. Who do we think should be the star? I feel like I just looked at Popeye. Popeye is supposed to be 34 years old, is what his age is. I feel like Thad Castle is going to be cast. I feel like it just seems like Alan Richardson is going to be cast.
Thad Castle from
wait, actually Thad Castle or Alan Richardson? Which one?
Alan Richardson.
Actually, Thad Castle.
Reacher, like he's just jacked beyond his mind at this point.
He doesn't strike me as a Popeye kind of guy, though. I can't lie, you know.
I would love him being Popeye as a Thad Castle character, just
as Thad Castle. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, but instead of spinach, just like steroids, and that's like what he needs to eat all the time. But no, who should like? I can't think of someone who would be like a perfect fit. That's like anyone.
Soups literally tweeted it. He is the perfect.
Soups literally would be. Yeah.
Soups is Popeye.
He is an IMDb accredited actor for.
He is Popeye. I'm not even joking. He could be. I can't think of anyone. I actually can't think of a Popeye kind of actor. I'm trying to think now.
Because like, what route do they go? Do they go for the jacked person route, or do they? I don't know. It's tough.
It's a weird cast. Like, it's a weird person to cast, isn't it? It's a weird character.
You heard it here first. Katie O'Brien should be Popeye. Would be electric. I've seen Love Lies Bleeding.
That shit, man. I don't know. I have no idea. Because where are you going to find someone with like biceps that small, but then the forearms are just crazy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yes, the forearm. The forearm's got to be CG, right? You can't just blow up.
Nah,
like it's going to be like a green thing around the forearm.
Should be interesting to see what that ends up turning out to be. But then we got some news for Joker. Joker 2, Fall You Do is going to be a jukebox musical featuring 15 covers of very well-known songs, which I think is a great move. I think leaning into the campiness is awesome. For anyone listening who doesn't know, what a jukebox musical is what like Mamma Mia is, where all the songs in the movie are something that are already existing, as opposed to something that's all original songs, which to me, I know Todd Phillips made some funny hangover original songs, but I don't need to see Todd Phillips directing a Batman DC movie where they come up with 15 Batman universe type music songs. Like, I'm happy as jukebox. It's going to be a soundtrack full of Lady Gaga. Like, I'm not going to be disappointed in this whatsoever.
No, I think this is a good idea.
Yeah,
it sounds like they're leaning into the camp
Joker train.
When have you been off the Joker train, George?
That's right, never, and I never will be. I will always be on that train.
No, I think this is a better idea than doing original.
Unlike you, Spider-Man 3 people who jump off and on that train every other
month.
I've
been on the train, George. I actually was on the Joker train for a while. When I first watched Joker, I was like, this is fucking great.
Dude, I can't wait for you to be on that Zack Snyder Justice League train. Yeah. I'll save a seat. I'm saving you a seat right next to me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna. Well, I don't even think it's a hot take saying I'm gonna like Joker 2 more than Joker 1, even though I do like Joker 1 a lot. But if you look at my most watched on Letterboxd, they're all movies that are musicals. That's all that's my favorite thing in the world. And jukebox musicals specifically, if I know the song going into it,
I'll freak out. I'm gonna be dude. Give me Joker ripping like Mr. Brightside, as like
no, I can't deal with more Mr. Brightside.
I'll lose my mind.
Bro,
I'll lose it.
Painful song ever.
I think the funniest thing Todd Phillips could possibly do is use a song from A Star Is Born in this movie. Like, use Always Remember Us This Way at like the climax of the movie. Maybe Joker and Harley are going through a rough patch. And Harley just starts singing that Arizona sky and just change it to the Gotham.
If they have Harley Quinn do a Lady Gaga song,
like what if she starts singing like Poker Face or something? That'd be great.
I would lose, and I would probably stand up and cheer in the theater.
Imagine Joaquin Phoenix starts doing like
just pop Poker Face.
I'd make the film. To be fair, I'd actually like that.
Yep, exactly. Got to see the vision.
It's a risk, though. It is a risk because it could backfire massively.
Mm-hmm.
It really could. It depends what songs they choose. It really does. Like, they could choose some shit. Some shit.
Well, we knew from the second they announced that it was a musical, it was going to be a risk. So I'm glad they're not just like doing a half risk.
I like that.
No half measures.
I like that.
Commit to this absurd narrative you got going. Hey, Seth, Josiah just logged First Reformed on Letterboxd. What do you think he gave it? Don't look.
I already know. Because he texted me. Because I gave Josiah a watch list.
Okay.
With films to watch. And funny enough, they were all like religious films, so which is quite interesting. Very me. Have you seen First Reformed yet?
Yeah, of course.
Have you seen it, Tyler?
Mm-mm.
Oh shit! Get that watched ASAP.
Dude, that's a 4.5 for me. That's very high on my like A24.
I didn't even realize you'd seen it. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. I just don't talk about it as much as you do.
Fair.
next bit of news. We got Happy Gilmore 2 in the works for Netflix. Seth, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, shit, man. I think that Happy Gilmore is my favorite Sandler comedy, and I think it's the one that's aged the best. I think it's hilarious. I actually really like it. I don't like the idea of Happy Gilmore 2 at all. I think it'll be shit. Just based off recent Sandler comedies. When was the last good Sandler comedy? That's a good question. Comedy, I'm speaking, not comedy drama. You know, like the Meyerowitz story or what? Actually,
trying to think off the top of my head, but
I'm checking. I'm on his box
right now.
Okay, so you've got Hubie Halloween, no. Murder Mystery 2, no.
Hey, yo, don't go skipping over You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah. That movie was good.
Actually, you know what? I give that a 3. I didn't think that was bad.
Yeah, that was not a bad movie.
Isn't he barely in it though? Isn't it more like his daughter?
Yeah, no, that's like
his daughter. He's not in it that much.
Murder Mystery 1, no. Do Over Ridiculous 6, Sandy Wax, no. Blended. I can't remember that well. I'm gonna say the last one I found funny was Just Go With It, and that was in 2011. So I mean, it's not on a great streak. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I might just go with it. Grown Ups is probably the last one that I think is.
You know, what? Just Go With It's fun, man. I quite like the film. And then Click, which is obviously like a masterpiece in every way.
I mean, early 2000s, late 90s, he had a lot of ones that are like
there was
fun to
some
watch.
really good ones, to be fair. Like
and I just think a lot of it has to do with the times, like technology being new and incorporated, like with phones and internet, like just make comedies so much more strained with what they're able to achieve. Like, I mean, even The Hangover, like we'd be able to track someone with Find My iPhone and find Doug immediately. That movie wouldn't really exist if we had, Find My iPhone.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not. I love Happy Gilmore, but I'm not excited for this. Like, let's be honest. Let's just be real right now. When are you ever excited for a new Adam Sandler film? Like, if it's a Netflix film, especially, it's not often. It's just
I think Happy Gilmore 2 would work if it was a direct sequel in terms of like it's still in the same time period. But Adam Sandler's so much older now, you can't do that. So I know it's probably going to be like Happy Gilmore
the same time period, like a year later. That guy's just like, what the fuck?
That would be a funny move by Adam Sandler.
That would actually be funny. Like, if they did that, would be great.
Yeah, and just make one joke at the beginning, be like, "Wow, you aged poorly this past year."
When was Happy Gilmore? Like 93 or some shit? Let me see. 96. So we
20 years,
28 years, and then we'd pass by and he's like grown massive. That'd be so funny, man. I know that the other guy's returning. What's his name? The one who played Shooter McGavin. Christopher McDonald. He's returning. Which is kind of cool, but
actually, I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I love Happy.
I'll watch it, but I don't see it being very good. Just on the comedy.
We will see. But the final bit of movie news today is the weird one of the week. Bambi, Tinkerbell, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Tigger, and Piglet, the Mad Hatter, and Sleeping Beauty will all unite in a horror team-up movie, Pooniverse Monsters Assemble, in theaters next year. So the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey universe is expanding to all kinds of recently released IP to the general domain, public domain, and they're all going to have their own horror movies.
Capitalize on this, aren't they?
They are, but I wonder if like once something comes into public domain, can you like put it back in the private domain or something? Because how are they?
Please do. I'm so sick of it.
How are they releasing all these in 1 year and then having their Avengers movie 1 year later? Didn't we learn anything from the phase 1 of the MCU that it's like take the years to build up the hype? Then once the crossover event happens, people lose their minds.
Well, we say that, right? But I remember when we first got news that they were making a Winnie the Pooh horror movie, everyone was like, "Oh, it sounds kind of fun." Like no one really watched it, and anyone who did, I think Tyler, you watched it. Everyone who did give it a half star, and then no one spoke about it since. But I will say though, and I could not care less. But I won't watch any of them. I don't care. Pooniverse did make me laugh when I first saw it. That is so
like camel makeup. Pooniverse.
It really is. That did make me laugh. But this is just, what are they doing? Like, did they even make any money? I mean, they probably did. But have these films made money?
Well, that's the thing. Like, they got distributed because Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was released in theaters. Like, so
yeah, it was. It was
crazy.
I think it was quite low budget, was it not? Like,
it definitely looked it, and there was no.
They made $5 million off $100,000. Of course, they're making fucking more. These, oh my, why are the? It's so painful.
I feel like they just, and this is not dissing people in film school at all, but I'm just talking about the budget wise. I feel like they just gave like a professor. There's a professor at some film school not a big one, probably like, South Dakota Technical Film Institute of America. He's a professor, and he gave all the students a camera and said, I am Kevin Feige of the Pooniverse. Each of you get Bambi, you're assigned Tinkerbell, you're Tigger. Go make your movie and release it. We're all releasing it. You have 1 year final assignment, and then next year I'll be making my Pooniverse Monsters Assemble movie.
It's got a 1.1 on Letterboxd. The fucking blood and honey.
I don't know if I can sit through all these Bambi, Tinkerbell, all these different horror movies, but I'm 100% gonna see Pooniverse.
Did you watch the other one, the mean one with whatever it was?
Grinch.
No. Yeah. I've got 1.8 actually. That's higher. That's a bit better.
Yeah. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was so bad that it wasn't even eligible for worst picture of the year because it was so bad that none of you guys watched it, so we couldn't get enough votes. But yeah, well, what a weird way to end the movie news of the week. But let's get into kind of our last part of the episode. There's gonna be a Jake Gyllenhaal draft. So we're going 3 rounds or 7 rounds for 7 people, or fucking math. 7 rounds for 3 people. I'm sharing my screen.
Performances or films?
Yeah, what do we do? Quality,
like your favorite films that he's in.
Okay,
favorite films that he's in. So not performances, but on his IMDb, if you filter out like shorts and documentaries, it says he's an actor.
No one used IMDb filmography except you, Tyler.
I like it way more than Letterboxd or IMDb.
I know
it just,
you do.
It's so much visually better. Like for filtering and just shows the years. Anytime I do Letterboxd filmographies, I get so confused. But he has 61 acting credits.
I don't actually like a lot of his films. Shit,
we're gonna have to get into the
That's crazy.
Seth,
no, it's actually when you get past because bear in mind we're doing 7 rounds.
Yeah, 7. We're gonna get to some shit, no doubt.
I don't know if I have seen enough for this. Okay, I've seen.
You're gonna. I think you've seen enough, but if you haven't, you'll just.
No, I don't think I
honestly, low key, don't even know if I've seen 21 Jake.
I think I might have seen. Maybe I've seen about 20.
I didn't prep for this. I'm planning on just scrolling up and down his.
Oh no, I would have seen it
as we go. But Seth, pick number 1. What's the number 1 Jake G movie for you?
Come on.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go for one.
No, I think it's like 3 that are a number 1.
No, for Seth, I think we know the answer.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got you Brokeback Mountain.
It's one of 2.
Okay,
that being 1.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, true. I'll go Rock Mountain. It's probably my favorite. But there's 4, like around 4.5 range. So
yeah, he has a couple very elite ones for sure. George.
Yeah. All right. I know what Tyler wants, and I'm in a good mood, so I'm gonna take Donnie Darko.
I kind of want. Oh yeah, that's
wow. When you prefaced saying that you know what I want, you're gonna pick something else. I thought you were gonna pick something else, but I think you're probably gonna get what I'm thinking you're gonna pick on the comeback here.
Because I want that.
Really?
Yeah, because it's one that I know you two like more than me. But I'm gonna go Nightcrawler first, then Prisoners.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking about Prisoners.
I wasn't talking about either of those.
I was definitely talking.
I know which one you guys are. I
don't think that Tyler likes this film that much. Actually, what I'm thinking.
Right. That's why I think it's between you two for who's gonna.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
I'm gonna take Zodiac. Is that what?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. All right. I did not know Tyler was lower on that movie.
I thought you knew I was low on it. So when you said like you know what I want, I thought you were gonna say. So I'm gonna take Zodiac.
I had in my head that you liked Zodiac.
I was talking about. I definitely knew you wanted Prisoners.
I don't know why I thought Zodiac. Okay. We're getting. So there's one that I know. I think George will probably take next. Wait, what have we taken? Yeah. I'm actually gonna check. If
two Jake Gyllenhaal posters right behind.
I'm assuming you've seen this, George. Maybe you haven't seen this.
Maybe I haven't.
You have, and you rate it really highly, so you're definitely going to take that one. And you know what? I'll give it you because I'm going to take Enemy.
Oh wow! So base to have that in top 2.
Oh wait, no, I'm going to take both of them actually. Oxygen.
Yeah, I was going to say Oxygen.
Yeah, Oxygen Enemy. yeah. Take it.
See now we're getting into like weird territory.
Yeah, they're like the top. Yeah, they're all top dogs, really.
Yeah, now we're getting into our territory.
For me, there's like an obvious next one, I think.
I don't know.
I don't think obvious,
but I'm gonna take End of Watch.
I don't really like it.
Patrons have been begging us to review that for genuinely almost a year. That's always.
Dude, I watched it a couple months ago because we were gonna review it, and then we changed movies.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah.
I think we changed it to the
I do remember
the Scorsese Daniel Day-Lewis movie. What was that called? The bad one?
Oh, Age of Innocence.
Age of Innocence. Yeah.
Age of Medicines.
Yeah, real.
Yeah.
Age of doo-doo.
Man, we're in such a fun part of his filmography, though, for like where these next picks could go. So, I like, there's so many I want on my board because they're so fun.
Surely you're going to choose this. Sure.
I don't know. I didn't prep at all, so I'm literally just scrolling up and down as fast as I can, just looking to see what jumps out. So I'm probably gonna miss something, but he doesn't really have anything pre Donnie Darko that I've seen. Yeah, we'll go back to back with some fun picks here. We're gonna go Ambulance.
No, that's my next one. Shit, that's annoying.
And we're gonna run it back with Southpaw.
Oh god, I'm gonna be clutching at straws here big time.
Well, I get the last pick in the draft overall, I believe. So I have no clue what that's gonna be.
If I had to pick MCU films, I would kill you both.
Yeah,
those are gonna come off, I think, for sure.
All right, I'm gonna take. Oh, now I'm in a pickle. You know what? I love this movie too much. I'm not turning into a hater. I'm gonna take Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh yeah,
when's he in that? Why don't I remember
the very
beginning? Yeah, the very beginning.
Like him revealing to the world that Spider-Man.
I'd be doing myself a disservice if I let that slide any lower.
I do remember. I do.
Back to back for Seth.
Okay, so I've got one more. There's a couple I haven't rated.
Would you rather take Roadhouse or Far From Home?
I'm not going to take either. I've got a 3.5. I'll go Everest. I actually quite like that.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I love that movie for some reason. It's just like one of those weird movies I don't think is great, but I've watched it like 3 times now, and it's something about it.
It is. I do quite like it. And then we're really clutching here. I haven't seen. There's a couple of his like bigger ones that are highly rated. One particular one from last year I haven't seen actually, and there's one that will get a lot of comments if we don't pick it.
That one from last year is so high on the average rating. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know people like that. Yeah, people like that film a lot. I'll go Jarhead. I haven't seen it in a few years, but I'll go Jarhead because
definitely that's a good pick. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
it's got to be at least sort of 3 or 4 years since I've seen it. People on online seem to really like Jarhead quite a lot. Whenever I don't mention it, people get really annoyed.
Shout out Roger Deakins, cinematography.
Yeah, Sam Mendes as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good.
George.
Yeah, I'm gonna take The Day After Tomorrow.
No. What a fun film. Rolling.
Surprised it dropped that low, honestly.
People don't like England.
That's one of those films. There's like a collection, like Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets falls in this category. It's when I was at the right age of like 12. TV was always showing The Day After Tomorrow. I don't know why.
Did you watch 2012 as well? I like 2012, but it's so dull.
What episode did George just reveal about that little secret about him since 2012?
Episode, the one we did the numbers.
Wait, I wasn't there. Tell me.
Yeah.
The numbers drafts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
what did you say about 2012?
Go watch the episode.
Did you say it was horrible, George?
Give us another view. Give us another view.
What I give us another view. Now,
I've already watched it.
I saw the movie in theaters, and the only thing I remember from that movie was it got very quiet at one point in the movie, and I let out a fat fart, and like everyone looked at me, and it was very embarrassing, and that's what I remember from
one of those things you'll never forget.
Yeah, I remember very clearly that movie theater experience.
That's one of those few memories everyone has where it's like late at night, you just randomly remember a memory from like 12 years ago, and you're like, oh, I hate myself for that. Why is that a thing?
I like 2012. 2012 was cool.
2012 is cool. I won't be taking it.
You can't take it. It's not.
He's not even in it.
We're not doing a Roland Emmerich.
Yeah, I forgot what we were doing for a second.
I'm a defender of this movie. I like it a lot, so we'll go The Guilty.
No,
the MIDI.
Oh, stop. That movie's good. That
Walter
movie's
good.
Mitty
is better.
I need Carmi for this one.
And then what was I just gonna? We'll go Love and Other Drugs.
I actually don't mind that. To be fair, I don't mind that. It's the same guy who did Last Samurai, Edward Zwick.
What a dichotomy of films.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do Cam's dirty work. I'll take Spider-Man Far From Home.
Valid.
Oh no. Okay. Wow.
And your last 2 picks, Seth, which I think there's enough on the board to get 2 solid ones still.
There's still a good amount of stuff.
Oh yeah, I like. So these 2 here, I think they're both good, but again, I haven't seen like probably 3 years minimum. Source Code.
Yep.
Which again, not watching a few years, but I do like it. Or I did. And then I'll go. So this is the film. When I first got on TikTok, every single the best acting performance of all time would have a clip of this film, and that is Brother. And the film, the clip would be
him and Tobey
Maguire smashing the shit out of the kitchen in front of Natalie Portman. What are you talking about, George?
I mean, I'm gonna. Is it my turn? Yeah, it's
Yep.
my turn. Yeah. The scene from Stronger when he's in the car.
I
fucking showed up for you.
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal just ran those edits. It was like everything all the time.
Man, I miss the Brothers edits. That would be so nostalgic if I saw one, just because that was like the very first days of ReelTok.
Yeah, it was such a weird, like the greatest performance, and it would always be like Daniel Day-Lewis shouting, and it would also be the scene in Prisoners when Hugh Jackman's holding up the hammer to Paul Dano. He's like, my God.
Which that one always surprised me that people would post. I feel like TikTok's so like maybe that's why we don't see him as much anymore. Because I feel like TikTok nowadays, like anything moderately violent, they're like, oh, flagging that. Like,
it's true because Paul Dano's face in that
like
was
full blood.
It's true. I don't know how that didn't get censored all the time.
But maybe that's why we don't see those edits anymore. So the last pick in the draft,
they're all banned. They were all banned. That's the issue.
I thought we were gonna be in a tougher spot than we are now, but I'm not gonna go Prince of Persia.
Don't go Prince of Persia.
Go Strange World.
Oh God.
No, I haven't seen Nocturnal Animals. I need to. Haven't seen Life. I need to. The Sisters Brothers I like, but I'll give a shout out just because it's my last pick. Why not? To Paul Dano's directorial debut, Wildlife.
I added that to watch this the other day. I need to watch that.
I didn't love it, but I definitely really liked it. So I had a good time with it. So yeah, there's our draft. I thought 7 rounds was gonna be a little tougher than it was, but Seth picked Brokeback Mountain, Enemy, Okja, Everest, Jarhead, Source Code, and Brothers. George selected Donnie Darko, Zodiac, End of Watch, Spider-Man No Way Home, The Day After Tomorrow, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Stronger. And I selected Nightcrawler, Prisoners, Ambulance, Southpaw, The Guilty, Love and Other Drugs, and Wildlife.
Tyler's won, 100%.
We'll see. Comment down below who you think
wins. Are like the vote baiters. They're really good. I mean, they're good films, don't get me wrong, but they'll get you the votes.
Yeah, Brokeback Mountain is like probably my favorite of the bunch, but I don't think that does as well as votes. It's like the true film bro movies, like Nightcrawler, Prisoners. But we'll see. George, I mean, we do anonymous polls, so I think George might be. Maybe people will be like, "Oh, George wasn't here this week. Must be Cam's picks." The 2 Spider-Men.
Cam wouldn't pick Donnie Darko, would he?
I don't even know if Cam's seen Donnie Darko, but
true. Nocturnal Animal is one that Nocturnal Animals. Is that with Amy Adams? I actually haven't seen it.
I need to see that
forever.
Yeah, but that wraps up our episode. Just coming right at about the 2-hour mark here. So let us know who you think won that draft. Let us know which of these trailers you're most excited for, as we got a crap ton of them. And also what your thoughts are on the whole AI stuff, because there's definitely one that I'm going to keep researching and keep looking into. And I don't have the right answer. I don't think I ever will, but I'd love to hear people's perspectives. This week, real quick, Thursday will be a trivia game that I created for these 2 fellas right here to go through. And then on Patreon only on Friday, we all kind of alluded to it. The Last Samurai will be the review of the week. Shout out to our executive producers. You can see at the bottom of your screen if you're on video, Stefan Johnson and Sean Morales. Thank you so much for making this possible for us to do each and every week. And then next week, our episode comes out on April 1st, April Fool's Day. And I am telling you right now, I will not be here. I'm going to be training these pups how to record and themselves. I will be able to edit and upload, so you don't have to worry about that. You just have to record the pod yourselves.
Oh, no. So without Dad,
I will say
we're so fucked. If there's no episode next week, it's Tyler's fault.
I was literally gonna say, if there's no episode next week, it is not an April Fool's joke, even though people be like, "Oh, it must be. They're gonna upload later." No, like if there's no episode at 6:30 a.m. Eastern time next week. It's not an April Fool's joke. So yeah, if you don't see an episode next week, enjoy that April Fool's, because the kids, I'm going to be excited to edit this thing and go through like what the hell this goes like. Not that I like steer the show in any way, but just I just want to.
You definitely do.
That SpongeBob meme where he's like in fire in like an office setting. That's going to be us next week.
Yeah.
Someone press record.
After this is done, I'm just going to show you guys briefly what to do. And I'm just going to literally record with my phone, me going through it, just so you can like look back at it during your break.
We're going to do the whole episode of not of press record.
Oh, that would be devastating, which I'm thankful we haven't done yet. I know every podcast at one point goes through that moment where they realize they didn't record something.
It's gonna happen.
That actually happened with Seth and I's Trivia 10. I didn't click the record button, but I have my backup recorder.
Oh, yeah, I do remember.
So always have fail safes, people, because I my heart stopped when I finished. I was like, what? Because I went to end recording. I'm like, oh, there's no end recording button. This is bad. Because Trivia 10's one, we can't just run it back because
we'd have to act. And I'm not very good at that. Imagine we have to do it again.
But yeah, Real Talk episode 80. We'll see you on Thursday for our trivia game. With that being said, peace out.